Oh, look at the tiny little lower third.
I know.
Tiny little lower third. And
Esta semana en el BMFcast.
Oh, you've already twatted?
What?
sure did.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
There's that raw live stream.
Refresh.
I like it raw.
Baby, I like
was
it
that too low?
raw. Baby, I like it raw.
Yeah, give it to me raw. Oh, hey, Internet.
More like
Shimmy,
Cynthia
shimmy,
Rothrock.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Check out my jokes.
Is that a joke, saying her name?
Yes.
Okay.
It
It's
is.
raw. Raw.
Oh, no.
Raw.
Oh, no.
Oh, we haven't pile drive this one into the ground.
Raw.
What are you talking about, Chuck?
Oh,
Nothing.
man.
All of our jokes.
I believe
maintain
her
their
name is
hilarity.
pronounced Cynthia Rothrock.
Not,
No?
not today, good sir.
Not today.
You will not get me today. I am prepared.
But, sir, how's your bronchitis? Have you fully recovered?
Fuck off. I'm okay as long as I don't laugh.
Laugh or talk.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks. Oh no,
Do you have it now?
Mackie's got it.
Oh, look at us.
We've passed around the bronchitis.
Hey.
What?
Oh.
What? Hey.
My finger's making noise here.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
put your finger
Oh,
away.
was that? Oh. We got to talk about how he enters the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, good news. The stream is healthy.
Good.
Chuck is not.
Nope, but that's par for the course.
I'm glad my stream is healthy.
Yeah.
You need a good healthy stream. We're back on this garbage fire of a website.
What?
Yep.
YouTube?
Yes.
YouTube.
Did we get any takedown notices on our stuff yet?
What happened?
We're not monetized. Nobody gives a shit.
What happened?
Oh,
What,
that's
is
right.
YouTube back on
We
the
also have
bullshit?
like 6 subscribers, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
YouTube's doing some bullshit.
Also, we're not Nazis
It's true.
or Nazi adjacent.
Right.
Although Order of the Black Eagle
Yeah, we weren't
had
supporting
Nazi
them Nazis.
Yeah.
We
But
were
there were
like, fuck
Nazis.
these Nazis.
There were
We're
Nazis
supporting
in
the
it.
people
We
who
also-
murdered a bunch of Nazis.
we also
and
weren't
made
on YouTube for
Hitler's
that.
frozen face explode.
That's true. That's good.
We have
Wow, we
also
weren't on-
watched multiples Captain's America.
We did, yeah.
He fights Nazis.
He does.
Well, except for when he's riding around in a sweet van and a motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there wasn't really that many Nazis.
This movie was about white supremacists, though.
It was, yeah.
Might get into trouble. That will be fun.
White supremacists who had no discernible agenda.
None
It's
whatsoever.
just like, hey,
Give us the mall.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
hey, they're white supremacists. It's like,
Mhm.
yes, and?
Yes, and
There are no people of color in this entire city, so.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, I feel like if that was going to be a plot point, one of the two cops should have been a person of color.
Sure.
Paul Winfield was.
Yeah, but
But he
he
went on
wasn't in the
vacation.
movie. He was.
He left.
Yeah, he's gone.
He did exactly what the white supremacists wanted him to do. He went to
what
Denver
did they
or
want?
whatever. The mall.
Well, they were going to escape with
Yes,
something.
money.
And
The $100 million
money,
this
just money.
town
Save
had.
it for the show.
Right.
All right.
You're right. We should. Why are we talking about
I
it?
don't know.
So how are your weekends?
BMFcast.
Save it for the show.
No, not that.
Save your weekend talk for the show.
No.
Fine. That's how my weekend was.
Yeah. That's cool.
I played more pinball this weekend. It was fun.
Nice.
I know, you made me very jealous. So Black Knight 2000, does it talk to you?
Well, it's Black Knight.
Forever.
What's it called?
Black Knight,
It's got
Infinity.
colon something.
Legion, Origins,
Rising.
Odyssey,
Revenge.
Revengeance, Transfaring.
Sword of Rage.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Wait, what did you ask about it?
it
Does
good?
it speak to you?
Oh yeah.
Does it say, do you challenge the Black Knight?
No, it taunts you. It taunts the
Say,
fuck out of
like,
you though. Like every
"You're
time
a
you fuck up at
bitch."
all, it's like ha, pathetic.
Nice.
Give me your money.
Well, so like there's this one shot.
Yeah.
Love that.
There's this one shot where there's a shield, and you have to hit the shield, and then he raises it, and then you can put when or you have to hit it a few times, but then eventually he's just like, "Why do you challenge me? Pathetic!" And then he's just constantly taunting you.
That's true in knightdom. If you hit their sword or shield, they have to raise it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Pretty
like,
sure
well, you have hit my shield. Fine.
fair play to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do with me what you will.
So what did they jettison to make room for Black Knight? Fists of Steel.
Beetle's still there. I wasn't like anything discernible that they got rid of. I don't know that they did. I mean, some things shifted around a little bit. Like Jurassic Park now is like, you could get trapped playing Jurassic Park. It's like so far up against the window, and they have the other tables here.
Yeah.
So like if someone came to one next to it, I think Fishtails, it's like you
Okay.
could get trapped.
Cool.
But that's the only one. It's like, oh, this is not great positioning.
They should launch that Hobbit table into the sun.
You know, I've played that the last 2 times I'm coming around on that table.
Oh, shit. That's a sign you've played too much pinball.
I mean,
You're getting good at it.
Yeah.
no, it's like
It's starting to make
Jersey
sense.
Jack still has garbage flippers, like they're clunky and chunky or whatever you want to call it. But like,
Chunky.
you can get multi-ball on that table for fucking forever. Like now I know why that girl was playing it for like an hour and a half, because like I kind of get bored with it before it's done. Like it's like, all right, I've triggered multi-ball for like the 18th time,
Yay.
but yeah, it's still not awesome, but
Okay.
it's okay.
It's a shame.
It's better than that Oktoberfest table, that's for sure.
Yeah. Is that a spooky pinball? American pinball?
I think it might be that American pinball,
Okay.
the one. I don't know.
The one who made Tesla or Edison? Or
Yeah, I think so.
Houdini.
Houdini,
That's
yeah.
it.
The Tesla table is a pinball effects thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've played that one.
Mhm.
I believe I even have an achievement in it.
How amazing.
Bill's here.
Hello, Bill.
Also, I like Whodunit the more I play.
The digital table does not do it justice.
It doesn't. Like, the digital table is actually kind of not good.
Yeah.
But
Because
the
you
real-
can't really make out what's happening.
Yeah.
The real table's pretty neat.
Yeah, well, I think it's because like the digital one does not properly capture like the levels of
Yeah.
the ramps and stuff, and yeah, but playing it for real is like it's actually pretty fun, and it's loud.
Well, when it's just you and Lurleen or whatever.
Methany.
Methany. Methany. I couldn't remember her joke name.
I went on Sunday. It was considerably busier, but still that table is just like every time you get a clue, it's just like Tony says. It's like okay, yeah,
I would imagine with summer here, it's going to be a bit busier, especially with the tourist crowd at Jekyll Island.
Oh yeah.
The
I mean,
fuck?
is it a place people actually go like,
Yes.
on
Oh, yeah.
purpose?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, people vacation there. They're getting ready to shoot some Walking Dead shit there.
Is that right?
Yep. And then apparently they're abandoning the state.
And the show, right? Isn't the show like ending
Oh,
soon?
no.
No, I thought it was like ending
No.
soon.
Because they've,
No.
they've got that and the other show going.
A lot of people keep leaving.
Yeah. But they're going to film 3 TV movies with What's His Nuts and
Oh, good. What's his name? Huh?
The main guy who
Rick?
left. Yeah.
Oh. So wait, he left without dying? He's just like
Yeah,
right off into the
they
sunset.
copped out.
They time jumped and
Yeah, you thought he was going to be dead. They took him off in a helicopter to be somewhere.
yeah. We'll find out in the 3
And then
TV
they-
movies, Adventures
Yeah,
of Rick.
and then they jumped ahead 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is what the comic did, except the comic kept him around.
He's just off on the beach looking for coral. Coral.
Now they killed Coral before
I
they killed him.
Yeah, Coral did too.
And he's still in the comic.
Yep. Anyway.
They're just in uncharted territory, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll end fantastically like Game of Thrones.
Was that
Game
really,
of Thrones
like,
could have ended well if they had just had enough episodes to do it. But they fucking like, I don't know. It's just like they were just like, let's just get this over with, man.
I'm totally fine with where it ended up. I just am not fine with I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's chuck fine.
It just needed more time to breathe.
Yeah, they needed more time to develop those stories.
Yeah.
And
You don't do that big of a thing in the next to the last episode and then deal with it immediately. That's some like 24 bullshit. Like when 24 kills off the main villain 18 episodes in, and they've got 6 episodes left, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like in the next to last episode, some big bad shows up, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one, they just like, in the earlier seasons, they would talk about something in like episode 2, and it would finally happen in like episode 8. And they would like keep mentioning it. You know, it would like take time to build. Whereas this one's like, nope, it's fucking going, man.
Yeah.
it was like they found out that they weren't getting renewed.
HBO pleaded with them
Yeah.
to make more. It was those two dudes who were just like, no, 6 episodes and we are out.
Well,
HBO was begging them to do more.
the
It's like when Sci-Fi was begging the dude to do more Battlestar, and they just kept dragging it out and dragging it out. It's like, nah, we need to end now.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's just very odd.
I mean,
don't get
technically,
it.
there's the same amount of time in the season as previous ones. 'Cause,
Sure.
I mean, the length of the episodes. It's 10 episodes worth of time in the showtime.
I don't know. The first episode was only an hour.
Yeah, but then like the first 2 were an hour, and then they were all hour and a half, which pretty sure if you do the math that equals 10.
No, they were more like hour 15, hour 20, and then they had their whole like 10-minute behind the scenes
Yeah.
thing that happened after. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
They weren't that much longer, and they'd
Yeah.
had long episodes before. Wasn't Hard Home a really long one?
Yeah.
Because that one was like a normal episode for the first half hour, and then all of a sudden the last 45 minutes, like, oh yeah, huge fucking battle with zombies out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That might be the best episode of the show, honestly. Just for all the just for how it comes out of the blue like that, and it's suddenly like, because all the other ones, like, it's like you're like, okay, Night King's taking on Winterfell. You know it's coming, and that one was just like lulled you into this all of a sudden. Then it's like, okay, here's like a 45-minute battle scene to end the episode, and then the Night King doing the thing where he's just like, hey, here's how much you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But maybe not the best episode, but it's a top 10er for sure.
Yeah.
I still think my favorite's the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
God, Blackwater's Blaze is really good.
That is really good. I just want the books to come out so I can read 8,000 pages of.
So the last one
Different
was what,
character point of view.
2010?
Yeah, I think so.
That sucks. Because the first one was like 96, right? Something like that.
I don't know. I didn't read them as they came out. I only picked them up.
I got all of them for Jen one year for Christmas, and she read like the first 3 chapters and stopped.
Oh my god. The I think it was 2 weeks after the show debuted. Because I think I watched the first episode on like Comcast On Demand or something a week after it aired. And I was like, huh. This show looks really interesting. I'm not waiting around for this show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to plow through these books. I'm going to be ahead of everything. I'm going to get like, an unsullied experience. Not that
I
kind
see
of
what you did
unsullied.
there.
Nice.
You were really dedicated to reading those books.
Yeah.
It's a little more than I was willing to do.
R.I. Penis.
My
But
thing.
then I got to the end of the books and I was like, huh. Well, he'll have the next book out in a couple years. Nope.
Yeah, it was 96, 99, 2000, 2005, 2011, nothing.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, the reason I always like reading the books before like any of the movies or anything happens with any of that stuff is like I want to have the characters as I imagine them.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter, like I used to have a vision of what the Harry Potter characters were because I read the books before the movies came out. Couldn't tell you that. Like the movies just fucking obliterated that over time. Like, you can't not, like I can't see anyone but Daniel Radcliffe now.
Even not watching the movies, you're
Yeah, you're
culturally
kinda,
that
you're just bashed into it. But actually, something like Game of Thrones that might help me because there are so many characters.
I tried listening to the audiobook. They're really long. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
really long.
And I know a lot of characters are like kind of like Jorah is very much presented as like this dumpy dude, you know. Whereas in the show, he's what is that? Ian, what's his name? Glenn. Or Ian Glenn. Yeah. Where it's like, oh yeah, that's a really good looking dude, you know. But in the books, he's like, nah, he's a bald kind of chubby schlub.
I'm pretty sure. Just imagine what George R.R. Martin looks like. I'm pretty sure that's Jorah. Jorah R.R. Martin.
Jorah.
Yeah, like I want to bang Khaleesi. Nope, not gonna happen, George.
I mean, at least if Jorah is a self-insert character, he never he pretty much stays true to what it seems like George R.R. Martin would experience in real life prior to his fame.
Yeah. Now he's just got groupies throwing themselves at him
I'm sure.
all the time.
I'm sure there are women that are like, you old man in that fisherman's cap.
I was gonna say beardy fisherman. Rub your face all over my.
I'll
Hooters.
suck your dick if you write a book.
Yeah.
That's why he's not writing the book. He's just fucking swimming in pussy.
Probably.
He's like, why would I write it? I got all this tang around me, man.
A song of nice and fire.
Tang, as in poontang.
Right, I know.
Oh. I don't know. Sometimes I figure.
I just enjoy.
Oh, it'd be a thong. It'd be a thong of nice and fire.
Nice.
I think that's a Jim Wynorski
George
movie.
George R.R. Martin.
Gotta love.
Yep.
The R.R. stands for ramming. Ramming.
Just ramming twice. George ramming.
Yep. That's how much he's ramming.
Actually, it's really.
It's like the double D for the double dose of this pimping.
It's actually onomatopoeia. It's just George R.R. Martin. He's just motorboating it all the time.
Yeah.
That's why he wears that fisherman's cap.
Yeah. Gotta be ready.
I don't know the ships.
That's why the books aren't coming out.
Something's coming out though.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Chuck?
Nothing.
All right. So should we talk about this sanitized for TV movie?
No, let's talk about titties.
Yeah, no. Let's talk about George R.R. Seaman.
Chuck, that's
George
gross.
R.R. Mountain.
Why would you say that, Chuck?
I don't know. Just trying to fit in, I guess.
Jesus.
God.
Your clinical terms are disgusting to me.
It's called jizz, sir.
Spunk.
Use proper English.
It's called Jizzer?
Jizz.
Is that a Pokemon?
Yes.
Engorged. Mountain.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Oh, you're right for Mad Max.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. You make that joke like twice a week, Chuck.
We keep doing it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you can't give a first draft nickname to it because guess what?
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 That's what you get. You get the Mad Magazine treatment. That's what.
Yeah. Well,
That's what.
there you go. So, let's do a podcast.
Gross.
Nah, I'm done, man.
All right.
We already.
We just need to have one of those podcasts where we do basically the pre-show banter for an hour. And then call ourselves like
Literally
Geek
anything.
Tablecast. Table full
Yeah.
of geeks.
All things geek. Yeah.
4 guys with beards and a podcast.
Nerds of the square table.
There are people listening right now who are like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Also, I'm registering that domain right now.
Yeah.
We just talk about nerd stuff.
I bet you there's a Nerds of the
yeah,
Round Table
1,000%.
podcast. Yep.
Is it
Oh, yeah.
Square
Oh, yeah.
table?
No, it's
Oh, yeah.
round table, but yeah.
Out. Sorry, I went main there.
You took it
Oh,
down.
there's a Nerds of the Square Table podcast.
Oh, they should fight.
yeah. There's
Hexagonal table?
Yeah.
Polyhedral table?
There's also a Nerds at the Cool Table podcast.
No, there aren't.
I mean, it is a podcast.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Nerds of the Square Circle, which is a wrestling podcast.
Soccer.
Shockmaster.
Now I'm just replaying that video in my head over and
Thinking
over.
of the Shockmaster.
Yeah.
Good old Shockmaster.
I am the Shockmaster.
Hey, somebody put some glitter on this stormtrooper helmet. Put it on this big guy.
Let's do our actual
right.
nerd podcast. Beard movie
Hey, welcome
fans.
to Nerd Herders, guys. My name's Flappy.
We'll just start one and we'll call it Beard There Done That. That's probably literally everything you can think of as a podcast. It's a new game we play. We actually just try to name other podcasts blindly.
Welcome to Guessin' Podcasts.
Yeah.
These are my guest guessers.
Castingawidenet.com.
.net. Castingawide.net.
No, castingawidecom.net.
.org.
George R. R. Martin
The
is
.net is
casting
part
a-
of the name. It's actually become
It's a .org.
.biz.
Wait, is this movie not on Letterboxd?
Holy shit.
What?
You get to add it?
I'm not seeing it on Letterboxd.
Are you spelling irresistible correctly?
I tried it both ways that are wrong, and
I can.
Well, one
add
of
it.
them's the right way.
Takes like 4 seconds.
Yeah, we added a
I have
thing
to do it with all the
Letterboxd.
bikini movies I watch. So
oh, there it is.
find it.
God, irresistible is a word that just looks like gibberish to me.
It looks like it has one too many eyes in it.
Yes. Looks like one of those dumbass Russian words.
Irresistible. Yes.
Yes. Let's do podcast, eh? All right. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
Hey!
BMFcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 469.
Nice.
Yeah. we are
Yeah.
469 here.
That is very nice.
We are Pro 69.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
It's good.
It
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's why we built a rating system around it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
However, there are bad movies that stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
In which they belong.
Gross.
It's bad.
We
So-
don't like those movies.
So, in case you don't remember, we are deep in the middle of.
No. This is a brand new theme month.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
We
that's
are
right. We
deep in the
announced
beginning
it.
of-
We announced it last week. So
Right.
if you're tuning in from last week, this is a rehash of a joke. But we just came off of Force Majeure,
Right.
flowed into Force Majeure.
Yep.
Yeah. More Force movies.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the pre-show banter when I was talking about us running every single joke that we ever do into the ground?
Yes.
Yes.
Not this one.
This is brand new.
This
This,
is
is
the
a new
best joke.
joke. We just debuted this joke.
This is the best joke.
We debuted this joke 4 weeks ago, and now
No.
we're running this
Less
joke
than a
into
week
the-
ago. This joke is still fresh.
This joke was unavoidable.
Certified fresh.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah. So we
Force Month 4.
for Force Month the 2nd, we have decided to do 1993's Irresistible Force,
Yeah.
a made-for-TV backdoor pilot movie for a show that never happened.
Correct.
That was my nickname in college.
Yeah.
Backdoor
TV.
pilot movie?
Yes. Backdoor pilot movie that never happened.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's weird.
Yeah.
People just shout that at you in the halls.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Backdoor pilot movie that never happened.
Yes, they,
Hey!
he went to school with Patrick, nothing but Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, backdoor pilot movie that never TV name. I don't know.
over here.
Warburton Polytechnical.
Let's do a plot summary for this.
Yes, even
Yeah.
though they're all wrong, but
It's all right. Let's read one. Anyway,
Okay.
It's fun. A disgruntled retiring cop and his new butt-kicking female partner must take on a well-armed terrorist group that holds up a mall.
thank you
That's-
for that edit.
I fixed it with one word.
Yes, because all the descriptions say supermarket,
What?
which is not even close to true.
No, it is not.
No, although that would be a fun movie. Why would you take a supermarket hostage?
I don't know. Ask the guy from the beginning of Cobra.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
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 I've wanted to write that movie for years, actually.
Cobra.
No. Die Hard in a supermarket. Like, I've had that literally in my head for 20-something years.
Okay.
Well, put it on paper.
Yeah,
we'll
write it.
film it.
Yeah,
All right.
We'll do it in a weekend.
Yeah,
Break into
write
a
it,
Winn-Dixie.
motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's in this movie?
People.
People? Thanks.
We got a list.
Yeah.
We do?
We do.
Anyone?
Almost there.
Okay.
Let's see.
Irresistible Force from 1993 stars.
Go on.
Directed by
Uh-huh.
Kevin Hooks.
Right.
From Black Dog.
Yes, he directed Black Dog.
Wow, that
He
was
also
a long
directed
time ago.
Passenger 57.
Oh.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You could have just written Passenger 57.
Not a
there.
BMFcast movie.
Well, then why are you mentioning it? Shut up.
Because it's a notable film. We
Mm-hmm.
quote that movie once or twice a week.
At least. It also stars Stacy Keach from Class of 1999 and the extra movie Gray Lady Down.
That movie comes up a lot.
That
Was
movie-
there a cast of thousands in Grey Lady Down?
That is like a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon's center point of how you get from one person. I mean, it's a cast of a lot of people.
And Stacy Keach is the linchpin, I assume.
One of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also stars BMFcast favorite Cynthia Rothrock from Undefeatable, Honor and Glory, China O'Brien, Martial Law, Fast Getaway, and probably 10 others before we all die, old age, and hopefully not nuclear holocaust. Additionally, Christopher Neame from License to Kill,
Honorary BMFcast
Yeah.
movie.
Yes.
and Paul Winfield from Trouble Man and Original Gangstas.
Trouble Man.
and like a billion different roles on Star Treks.
Yes. Any Star Trek you've got, Mr. Paul Winfield will show up for it. He was Darmok. Although probably he was not Darmok.
Right? No, Darmok was a legendary figure
Right.
of which they built their language around.
Yes.
Sort of like robot jocks.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
Yeah. In the future, our names will be robot jocks.
Correct. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, this is, like we said, a TV movie.
Yeah. Complete with commercial fade out breaks.
Yes, those are always nice.
One or two come at really weird times, like mid action sequence.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah,
Most
like-
of them are like, oh, like someone will say something. It's like, here comes the commercial, and there's the feed.
Yeah. Also, it was filmed entirely in Australia.
Oh,
But-
where were the Ixons?
No accents.
No ex-
They shipped in a bunch of Americans.
Yeah, but they had some BMX bikes. There was a
They
whole
did.
store of BMX
There
bikes,
was a
Where,
BMX
where were the
bike.
bean?
and then they stole them. They were bandits.
Beans.
They were
No, they
beans.
didn't steal a BMX
Oh,
bike. They
that's true.
stole
They-
a
dirt bike.
Motor sequel.
Wow. I love when Chuck does accents. It's always fun to guess
the worst.
what planet they're from.
Yeah. Well, you know.
We can't all
Yeah.
be masters of dialect
do
like us.
Bike beans.
I just want to be as funny as you guys.
You are a funny motherfucker, Chuck.
Yay!
Yeah,
Anyway.
you're all right.
But yeah, this movie opens with well, first there's a kidnapping, a brief kidnapping scene
Of a kid.
of a kid. Yes, an actual
A
kidnapping.
kid gets naps.
But yeah, he's talking with a friend on the phone, playing a Game Boy game, like an
That he
original Game Boy.
stole.
Yeah, that he stole.
He stole it.
So he describes himself, or someone describes him as a mall rat. Was mall rat meant to mean you steal from malls? I thought it just meant
No.
like you hang around in malls.
It
did.
Generally a ne'er-do-well.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
Just a loiterer.
Yes.
But I guess also possibly a thief.
Yes, a
A
loiterer.
bandit, if
Yeah.
you will. Yeah.
Beaned it.
Do you want to talk about this kid for a second?
Sure. He has a
Yeah, because we discovered this kid has a resume.
He does. He's in a lot of Tarantino movies for one. Also, he wrote Scott Pilgrim and 21 Jump Street.
And 22 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Hey, good on him.
Yeah. He had a little minor
like a lot
acting
of that
career
stuff.
that he turned into, hey, I'm going to write some movies that people are going to really like.
He's still acting in things
Yeah.
as well, so
Yeah.
good for him. I mean, Scott Pilgrim is among our favorite movies.
Yeah.
So, hey, good for you, kid, whose name I forgot.
Michael Bacall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Bacall.
Any relation to that Bacall, Lauren, of the Lauren variety? All right.
His
You research.
No,
his
he changed
birth
his
name
name.
was Bucarella or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So he gets kidnapped
he gets kidnapped,
by
and
vaguely German man.
yeah, it's weird. Like
He's just like, we got your kid, Dad.
yeah, because like they don't like sneak in and kidnap him. Like he starts screaming for his dad. His dad comes out and kind of gets grabbed, and they're just like, "Hey, you know, we're gonna call you, and you're gonna do a thing. So bye."
Yeah.
And then it's like
You stay here and shut up, Dad.
And
we'll
then
be
we-
in touch.
it's Stacy Keach fell asleep on the couch. All his kids and wife wake him up, and he gets his wife is a nurse and pulls some stitches out from a gunshot wound.
He's
Because-
the day he gets his stitches out.
Yeah.
He's going back to work.
Yes, he's been whatever on
He's been on
hiatus,
medical leave.
Leave,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
whatever the word is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And his wife is like, please
yeah,
don't get shot anymore.
Try
And
not to
he's
get
like,
shot because you're going to retire soon.
and he's like, I got a plan. Don't worry about this. I got this. And so he goes to work and talks to the chief, who is Paul Winfield.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically tells Paul Winfield,
Need a new partner.
give me a new partner. And he's like, all right, we got a bunch of young hot guys to get you one.
He does not say that. But
Yeah, they got hot cops. We'll pair you with a hot cop.
And he's like, no, I want a lady.
Yeah, I've done research. There's statistics.
They don't fight as much, and they're not ones to get shot. And Paul Winfield's like, yeah, but you're the one who goes charging in guns blazing. It doesn't matter who your partner is.
He's like, fine, all right, I got the perfect person.
Yeah.
She missed passing her police exam by like 1 credit.
Yeah.
So
he said 1 unit.
yeah, sure. And you go check her out, and
That's accurate.
It just was funny. To
1
me.
unit short.
yeah, so go check her out, and if you sign off on her, I'll give her a badge anyway, and
Yeah.
she's your partner.
Yep.
So of course it's Cynthia Rothrock. So
Mhm.
he drives up and meets her, and they banter for a bit, and it's mostly like him being old and being like, ladies, like hunter gatherer stuff, and
Not really in a gross way, though. Just in kind of a like,
Very outdated way.
you ladies are more of nurturing, and you're good at like forensics and stuff. And he's not being like, get in the kitchen, lady. He's just like, you have a certain set of skills. It's not as gross as it could
right.
be.
Yes. The real takeaway is that the unit that she failed was like hostage negotiation,
Right.
terrorism tactics or whatever.
Yes.
That's what she failed, and he's like, oh, well, that's actually good because I don't want to get into that kind of shit. So you're perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And they're having coffee, and they
Yeah.
get a call on the radio. It's like, there's a 521 in progress at the car dealership. Go. So it's some antique car lot.
It's never, most things in this movie aren't explained. It's just like, yes, there are terrorists trying to take over steal antique cars from this like collectible car place.
More money, who knows?
No, he was like, give me the keys.
Yeah.
Like they want they
That's
wanted
right,
a
he did
car
want
Yeah,
or
just
something.
give me this
So-
1920s Bonnie and Clyde mobile.
Yeah. So like it was a reported attempted robbery or kidnapping or hijacking or whatever the fuck it is, a hostage situation. And so they get up and they're like, "Yep, really is. There's guys with pantyhose on their face and guns, and yes, they have hostages." And they're like, "Cool. Well, hold your position. We'll send in the SWAT team."
Yeah.
And
She's like, they're gonna kill that
yeah,
poor man.
Well, he's like got the place's manager on his knees, like gun pointed to his head. And she's like, "I gotta go now." And
Yeah.
she's like, "I'll use the woman card, and they won't suspect I'm a cop." You walk in there, they're gonna go, "Cop, you're Stacy Keach. You're always a cop."
Yeah.
And so yeah, she just walks in like, "Hey, can I get a car?" And
The guy immediately yanks the pantyhose off his head. Is like, "Yes, ma'am, right this way.
Yeah.
Check out the back seat." Eh.
And then she goes, "You first." Kick,
Yep.
kick, punch. It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, it mostly disarms them all, except like one guy was like around the corner or something and comes out and is like, "Hey," and then like it starts an actual like gunshot thing. So Stacy Keach has to, of course, run in there and like.
I believe Stacy Keach murders one of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
he shoots the
Yeah,
guy that
who's
like
about
came
to
around the
shoot
corner.
her.
But like the main guy that like she just kicked got up and got in the car. Apparently found the keys somewhere and is about to drive out the main window. And for whatever reason, Stacy Keach is like, "I have a gun, but I'm going to TJ Hooker the front of this car."
I'm glad you made that reference.
through the plate glass window, and
Yep.
it's just like, why? Like, what do you expect to accomplish? But somehow it
works.
works. It works because they crash through the window. He's completely unscathed, and it managed to knock out the windshield too. So he's just like gun in his face. It's like, if you don't stop, I'll murder you. And the guy's like, okay, I'll stop.
Yep.
And while they're wrapping up all of this, he notices like the guy has this cobra tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
That doesn't come up right away, but of course they get back to the office and they're like, and Paul Winfield's like, "The fuck are you thinking?" Except TV movie, like,
The heck
What
are
the
you
fornicate
thinking?
are you thinking?
Yeah.
what the frack? And
Listen, lady, you're never gonna be a cop. Get
yeah,
out of here.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're almost a
He-
loose cannon.
She got suspended, even though she wasn't a cop yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And
she,
then-
she got thrown off the
And-
force,
and then
of
he-
which she did not work.
And then basically he said like, "Hey, don't you think you're being a little hard?" And he's like, "Oh, really? You think?" And he's like, "Give me your badge too."
Yeah. You also get out of here. And he's like, I've been back 12 minutes. Yeah, but he goes and turns in his badge.
And, well, because he also starts into like, he's like, "It was the white snakes or cobras,
White cobras.
white cobras."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't start that bullshit again." He's like,
Yeah.
"It was the dude had a tattoo. They all like were part of this gang." He's like,
Tattoos, schmattoos.
Yeah,
vibes.
you're
There's no
just
such
been-
thing. Get
yeah,
out of
you're-
here.
Tattoos don't exist.
And so they, they're going to accept their suspension, and they get in the car, and he's like, "You don't have anywhere to go, right?" And she's like, "No, not really." Like you don't want to be alone or whatever. He's like, "Why don't you come to dinner at my house?" And she's like,
Your wife's going to be mad.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. She says, like, you should probably get a gift. And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, but you're going to help me pick out.
And all through, like, the first 15 minutes of this movie, they've been talking about how all the cops are at the grand opening of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to go to the grand opening of the mall. So that's where all the cops are.
And Paul Winfield's getting on a plane.
He's getting the fuck out of town.
Well, he's getting on a plane for some reason. It's not, I don't think it's even said. Like,
he's going on vacation.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
But, so, like, he's on a plane, so he's out of the movie until the very end, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All the other cops are over there, so they're, of course, going to run to this mall to pick up whatever gift.
Yeah.
And they're having the craziest fucking ceremony for a mall opening. The governor, the mayor,
Governor.
and, like, I think they said, like, a senator
and 2 congressmen.
Yeah. And the entire city council.
Yeah.
Well, and the speech the mayor gives about this mall, you would think, like,
It's
you
not a
just
football
walk
stadium.
in and like it gives orgasms.
Yeah.
It, like just like everything about this mall is the best and the greatest accomplishment mankind has ever experienced.
Yes, we went to space, and the result was this mall.
Yeah.
Human ingenuity has never been more elite than
My
it is.
God, it's full of stores.
Yep. Yeah. So he is just jizzing all over the crowd about this. Just like, can you believe it? And here's the man who got the permits, and here's the man who did the construction.
I'm so glad I'm in a mall so I can change my shorts.
Yeah. He is fucking just out of his mind excited, and the crowd is pretty much like, yeah, this is the greatest achievement our town has ever seen.
Which is never named.
There's a name on the mall of it. No one ever on the wall outside, but it's all CG, and it's all 1993 CG, like even the flags, and it looks like shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's Sega CG era bullshit.
It's like Heavenly Path Mall or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it's something lame.
But
So-
yeah, they come up to a cop and it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, you know.
Oh yeah, they meet this dude named Nash, who
Is it the SWAT team guy that was
Yeah.
there? Okay, I thought it
Yeah.
was a different guy who was giving him
yeah.
shit first.
Stacy Keach sees a guy and he's like, I know that guy. He's a white.
Well, it's before
Cobra.
That's after they get into the mall because like first they come up and like
right.
they're like there's people who aren't good enough to get in to watch this press conference where they're jizzing all over the mall.
Yeah.
But like they're like whatever, go ahead, and sneak around and we'll send the store clerks in after they finish the speech or whatever.
Right,
It's
the
like-
store clerks can't be in there for
Yeah,
this.
it's so dumb. It's this hoity-toity event for a fucking mall.
There's 12 people being held outside, not allowed to go in to see the mayor give his fucking jizz speech about the mall.
And they all like these people as they like cross the police line. And all these people are looking at them like, "Hey,
Yeah.
they're gonna get the $50 TVs."
Yes. Why do they get to go in first? They'll be the first ones to lay in the Craftmatic bets.
Yeah, but so they get to go in and just kind of are like walking their way through the crowd. And yes, he sees a security guard and a waiter because this whole thing's like catered too and fancy. And he's like, "That's one of the white cobras. I arrested him many years ago." It's like, and it's just you follow him and I'll follow him and we'll see what happens.
Right.
And
She disappears into the bowels of the mall.
Yeah.
And he takes like a step, and then like Nash is in his face. Like, what
not-
the fuck are you doing?
Not
here?
after, like I appreciate that the movie actually called him on this because like he's passing through the crowd and there's one like older blonde lady and he just like takes her and goes whoop, like out of the way
Yes.
and like keeps on going and then like that dude pops up and is like, what the fuck? That's why I don't think it was the SWAT guy outside. I
Yeah,
think,
you're right.
I think
Outside it was
I think
not the SWAT
outside guy was just like, what are you doing here? You
Yeah.
don't have your badge anymore. I don't know how this word traveled this fast, but yeah, like they actually radioed to the.
Walkie-talkies.
Well, I mean, they radioed the mall, the people at the mall, like, hey, he's on suspension.
Yeah.
So
If you see Stacy Keach,
Yeah.
he ain't a cop anymore.
Yeah.
They
But
got
no.
they got a page.
So SWAT, it's SWAT commander guy like catches him like after he's pushed this lady out of the way, and he's just like, "The fuck are you doing here?" And also, you just stiff armed the mayor's wife, like, "Get out of here!" And basically just escorts him out.
Yeah.
So she, Cynthia Rothrock's off following this security guard, and he's been let outside.
He's outside.
And they go to introduce, I guess, the
Head of security.
head of the mall, or I think it was like the head of the mall, like the mall manager or whatever, to give a speech. And it's not the guy, and it's the guy that did the kidnapping from the first scene. And he steps up and he's just like, well, if the security guy was here, he would show you that this place is awesome and this little remote control, I can press this button, and he does, and all of the steel doors come down, and it's like, look how secure this place
It's
is.
an impenetrable fortress, which, like, the fuck, why?
Yeah.
I understand that you think this mall is fucking Fort Knox, but it ain't.
Yeah.
Your CG mall is
But
empty now.
of course, now he has just created a way to, like, lock the doors. Or
Yes.
he makes some joke about, like, this is going to be a gas or something like that. And then,
Well, he makes that joke when they wheel out the cake.
that's true. He's like, oh, yeah, I heard it's the mayor's birthday, and we
Yeah.
brought you a surprise. And they bring out like the big stripper cake, and like, it kind of sort of happens like what I wanted to happen, but not exactly. Like I was just like, one of his goons is going to pop out of that cake and just start shooting. But no, it's a lady, and she does a dumb, weird dance thing.
This got her back to the camera
Yeah,
too, and
This makes no sense.
No, it doesn't, because there are people on the other side watching her and all giving this look like, the fuck? But she's dancing and doing this hand thing, and then whips around and has a gas mask on. And then like
Throws gas
hucks a couple tear
canisters
gas canisters around.
Yeah.
she
I
also
just love
has a
that-
gun.
Yeah, I just love that nobody in the audience reacted to a woman wearing a gas mask
Yeah.
with anything other than, huh.
They're like, well, it's a dancing lady. Maybe this is the theme of some... I don't know. But yeah, they all get gassed. And we never see that lady again.
Nope.
No.
She was not completely part of this plan,
No.
I guess. I don't know.
Now, we get...
She had a gun though. She was part of that plan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Also, she had like a weird back tattoo, which like coincides with this whole thing where like Paul Winfield was like very upset at the idea of his son getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
Based on Stacy Keach's son being a bad influence.
Yes.
So it's just like, do not let him end up looking like wallpaper. And then I was like, okay, whoever made this movie was like very anti-tattoo, because they gave the bad lady and the bad people tattoos.
Yes.
You know.
Shortly before they went to the mall, Stacy Keach explained the whole White Cobra thing.
Yeah.
The White Cobras were a white supremacist group.
I think he explains it to her when he's like, you need to go follow him. I think it was like a very quick like.
Yeah, before this went down, it was just like, that guy's a White Cobra. The White Cobras were white supremacists. Their leader disappeared, and
Yeah.
we thought they broke up.
Not just
I
that, but
never thought
they
that.
were like doomsday preppers and crap too.
Yeah.
You know, like survivalists. And
Yeah.
bullshit.
So they are, but like, none of this is relevant in any way.
Nope.
Like, the fact that they are supposed to be white supremacists, one, never matters because there's nothing in this town but white people.
And Paul Winfield,
Right.
Well, he
who
left.
who left to go to Denver so,
Right. I
to
just...
be amongst his other white people.
Well, he didn't go to Vale. Like Aspen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
it's from a time where, hey, guess what? If you're a white supremacist, you're a bad person, and everyone realizes that that's what that's code for.
Yeah, you didn't need...
Not the 2019
motivation.
where it's like, oh well, you got to give them a listen.
Both
They might
sides.
be able to.
They might have ideas.
Yeah, no, no. This was back in a time where it was like, no, if you're a white supremacist, you're a piece of shit.
Yep. And
So they didn't really need to do anything else other than like, okay, now we know they're bad guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we did kind of take that for rote. Like
Yeah.
a long time.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was
we
real
did.
easy.
What the fuck happened?
It was real easy.
I don't know.
It
God
was,
damn it.
It was real easy to point to a guy. That's a white supremacist. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Not give them their own fucking talk show.
Anyway,
Right.
sorry.
It's okay. We just felt like this movie maybe needed a little bit of that,
yeah.
considering the time in which we live.
Right.
But it's a TV movie, so
Sure, whatever.
even still.
But yeah, but
It just seems... I mean, they're...
it's a strange extraneous fact that means nothing to the plot of this.
I mean,
now
I can-
maybe it was going to mean something.
That's what I think.
later.
Maybe it was going to lead to like, oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
like later
Paul
they could-
Winfield rolls up his sleeve and he's got a white cobra tattoo. You know?
Hail Cobra.
You know what?
Yeah,
I mean, he was very anti-tattoo. He was trying to throw Stacy Keach off the trail.
I was just figuring he was going to get kidnapped by them later, but sure, yeah,
I know how TV plot twists work.
yeah, sure.
And then he wakes up, and it's all been
Yeah.
a
He
dream
wakes up
that a
with
cobra had.
his old wife, from the old show,
Right.
Yeah, and it was all in a snow globe.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
terrorists have taken over the mall. It's Die Hard time.
Right.
So Cynthia Rothrock is trapped inside the mall. Stacy Keach is outside the mall.
Continually trying to get in or get the SWAT team guy to go in, and they're just like, no, it's too dangerous. It's
Man,
like-
this SWAT team guy is a huge asshole.
God, he is just naysaying the entire time. Like Stacy Keach has basically found out that this guy is like, well, you're the highest ranking dude.
I just realized. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just realized there's several things that are really wrong with this.
Okay.
It's that first off, they just say white supremacist, and we're like, okay, yeah, sure, that's a bad guy, and then they never make a point of like, making any big deal about it. But also living in 2019, the idea of cops not wanting to go in and immediately murder everyone
Right,
is
yeah.
a really foreign idea.
The cops just being very
like
timid. to
especially the
just-
SWAT guys not being like,
Well,
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
get the tank.
it was white supremacists that were holding people hostage, so
Oh. The
that's
cops
a very
were like,
2019 thing. They want to
true.
negotiate.
That's my cousin.
All right, yeah,
That's my partner.
Yeah.
Um,
it's a strange thing. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So
Yeah.
The terrorists, their whole thing is basically you're going to give us $100 million
And
release the other white supremacists that are in your jail, which is probably everyody.
See, this is how I know
but
I've
not
watched.
the members of Asian Dawn.
Right. Asian Dawn,
Right.
probably not.
No, not so much.
This is how I know I've watched Die Hard too many times. Is I keep expecting there to be something else. Like the whole movie, I'm like, okay, so what's the real thing they're after?
But see, that's the thing.
What's the thing that
Well,
they're actually
there
going?
is an extra layer, but we'll get
I mean, there's another layer,
it's dumb, but it's
but
there.
they're just looking to get their buddies out of prison and get
Yeah.
$100 million.
The thing that, and this is a tangent, and whatever, we've talked about this before, but the thing about Die Hard is that you watch it and you're like, not only is this the blueprint, this is the perfect version of this. Like, no Die Hard ripoff ever upped the stakes, maybe Executive Decision, but anything else is really not done like, we need to do Die Hard but better. It's always just, let's just do Die Hard. And no one thinks past that. They're just like, terrorists take over some thing,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
that's it.
most other like quote unquote blueprint movies weren't perfect.
No.
I was just like, oh yeah, that's really novel for the time. However, I can do better than that. It's pretty much impossible to do better than Die Hard.
Yeah, because Die Hard covered all the bases. Like any thing that you think of where it's just like, yeah, but what about this? Like, no, actually, Die Hard covered that.
Yeah.
So no one ever did it better, and they were just like, Die Hard in a hockey rink, Die Hard on a train, whatever, Die Hard, Die Hard.
Die Hard in a skyscraper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Die Hard at an airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Die Hard in all of New York City.
Yes. Die Hard in all of New York.
Die Hard in a Vengeance.
Die Hard in Russia?
No, we don't.
That-
no,
that
I don't even know what
that
you're
never
talking about.
happened.
That
Yeah,
never happened.
That's a fever dream.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. So Cynthia Rothrock is left to run around in the back for a while.
And kick people.
Yeah.
Well, she. All right. So before that, she goes to a.
Before she kicks some people.
This is a generic mall, so none of the store's name, but it's a Radio Shack basically.
Sure.
She goes there and procures a walk. First, all right. All right. First, she tries to pick up like a regular phone, and of course, they've cut the phone lines.
Yes.
And then she's in the Radio Shack and picks up a cordless phone, and then looks at it like, why can't I make a call? And I'm like,
Why isn't this phone on the shelf working?
are you sure you only failed one class at the police academy?
Yeah.
Like,
I know you could do that kick where you get your foot all the way up and kick behind your head to some other
yeah.
dude. Have you hit yourself in the face while doing that?
I just, yeah. But then she like picks up a radio and it's like, Mayday, Mayday, and then it goes, batteries. So she eventually gets batteries.
I thought that picking up the cordless phone thing was funny.
Wrong time.
Like, was
Like,
it?
who's she doing a joke for?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
like not that she was doing a joke. I just thought it came
Sure.
off as earnestly funny.
Maybe.
I
So
suppose, yeah.
I don't know.
it's supposed to be a television show. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
But she eventually radios Stacy Keach, and or the SWAT guy or whatever.
She
gets in contact with the people outside.
she barges into the traffic radio because one of the dudes comes out of the truck. He's like, "There's a lady yelling on the traffic
A
comms."
foul-mouthed lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Give me that."
Yeah. But eventually they're like, hey, the only way to open the gates, like she's like, at first they're like, go cut the cable or whatever. They're like, and like the night security guys, they're like, no, that's not going to work. The only way you can open them is from the security room. And she's like, on it.
She's also told him that at the south entrance they have set up a grenade launcher, which they have.
Yeah.
So don't come in that way. But then
She
she's
uses
like,
a weird word for it though. She calls it a grenade cannon.
yes,
Yeah,
something.
it's weird.
Maybe that's
This
what
thing
they
is-
call it in Australia.
Yeah, a grenade cannon.
Yeah.
Keenan.
But basically they're locked in. She's got to get into the security office. The only way to open the doors. And when she opens the doors, send in the SWAT team. Mm-hmm. So you'll know my signal.
Her signal is when she opens the door. Right.
Yeah, because she goes in there
Immediately.
she goes in there like they've already discovered. I don't know how, because that's the thing. Is like this movie cuts a lot of shortcuts because at some point they have discovered that she's loose in this place.
Well, she kicked
ran by the security center.
Yeah,
and
and-
they're like, "Oh, hey, where's that lady?"
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, like they're all like, find her. Who is she? I don't know. Just find her.
Just get her.
So she's evaded them a couple times, like by hiding up in the ducks while a couple of guys walk by. But then
Hiding in ducks.
eventually she's just like, I'm going to do the lady thing again. And she just walks in like, hey, guys, like, I really just want to surrender. I don't want to get hurt. And they're all like, hey, lady.
Yeah,
And then she's like, oh, yeah, I am a lady. Kick. Because, like, one of them comes at her with a gun. And so she's like, she flirts with him for half a second, then kicks him in the face. And
Yep, and takes his gun.
takes his gun and, like, takes out the other guy and opens the doors. Again, no signal, just doors are open, and so like Stacy Keach is like, "Come on, let's go!"
Let's go. And everyone's like,
the SWAT team's like, "That's good. I got to get that authorized. I'm only a lieutenant, and the captain's in the air."
he's like, the fuck?
He's like, "All of your superiors are inside the building. Fucking go!" And he's like, "I don't know."
So he's
and
just
then,
like, fine.
we didn't mention they've also. Part of their plan is they've put explosives on random cars throughout the parking lot because as the SWAT team was initially like before the doors, like the doors were down.
Yeah, the doors.
At one point, they were going to send the SWAT team in, and they blew up a car, and so they're all like, "Back, back, back!" You know, like we can't go here. And so his plan is like, he's like, "We just got to get in a vehicle, drive for the front door, and just outrun the explosives.
Get in there."
And he's like, "Come on, let's go. I'm driving the car." And he's like, "But expenses and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, God damn it. Like,
we don't. Who's gonna authorize us getting a car all messed
It
up?
never really comes up because there's no budget for it, but he stunts around in a police car for a second, pulls up to the car or to the front, and somehow they're shooting at him. Like I think they have, like, well, the doors are open now, but yeah. So they're like shooting at him, but he just gets out of the car and like ducks around the corner. It's like not like he rams the car through the mall or anything. It's
Yeah, I thought he was gonna drive the car into the mall.
yeah, but no, he doesn't.
No.
In a movie, he would drive the car.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Well, they also probably have the SWAT tank, you know, the Die Hard thing, the battering ram,
Swank.
the Have a Nice Day thing on battering ram.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
So when he was like driving in, the dude, the SWAT dude, was like, you know, get back here, I'm in charge, and he's like, yeah, that's what I thought too. But yeah, so now he's just kind of slinking around the back trying to get in.
That was actually a really good line because he's like, come on, guys, let's go. And the SWAT team guy's like, I thought I was in charge. He goes, I thought you were too. I guess we all make mistakes. Bye.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah,
good.
they give Stacy Keach a lot of just pithy insults.
Well,
at
this guy was digging deep into the core of his soul too, because he like every little thing he said was just like, dude, that's super personal. Like,
Yeah.
like what do you want to go get shot again? It's like,
Yeah.
dude, like first day back after being shot.
Well, he was right.
Yeah, when am I going to tell your wife,
Yeah.
who you haven't had sex with for 5 weeks now?
Because you had to sleep on the couch without a shirt.
What am I going to tell her about when you're dead?
Yes. See our intro
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
to this episode.
Yeah, because he evades cameras for a little bit, and then he gets to the garbage chute basically, and he's like, "What's this?" And
He reversed Star Wars.
What's this?
he gets like the mall manager on the phone, and the mall manager's like, "Hi, over."
That mall manager is good. I
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
guy.
And Stacey Keach is like, "What about this garbage chute?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can get in that way." And he's like, "Why didn't you tell us about this?" He was like, "I thought you just wanted normal ways to get in."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my god." So yeah, it's when he starts climbing the garbage chute. The SWAT guy's like, "Hey, what about your wife? And you just need to get out of there." And he's just like, "Guy, fuck, just." So
Yeah.
he's climbing this garbage chute for a
Yeah,
while.
because we cut back to Cynthia Rothrock, and she goes on a whole bunch of adventures, and he's like, just barely finished climbing the garbage chute, you know. But yeah, like as she's evading gunfire and terrorists and whatnot, she ends up like
she finds the kid.
she finds the kid like in some back room or whatever.
Yeah,
and
she's
then
like, "Kid, what's a kid
they
doing here?"
they have banter, and it's like
They do.
He lies
He does.
immediately.
He does
'cause he's a
lie.
little
He
shit.
lies. He's a liar.
I don't understand. Like he has lies that I don't even understand why he lies about them. But
It's weird. You can only assume at some point the bad guy has given him instructions if anyone comes in contact with him. But other than that, it's so weird why he's just like, "Yeah, I was casing the joint and they found me and the security brought me here.
Yeah,
I'm a mall rat."
But yeah, basically, he somehow knows this mall inside and out, despite this being the opening of it.
Yeah.
And he can tell her where all the back, ways to get places are.
Well, he did say he got kicked out 10 times before it even opened.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's cool.
So they do some climbing and stuff, and she's like, "I'm afraid of heights," and he's like, "Don't be." And she's like, "Okay,"
Kind of.
and that's the end of that.
That happened. Well, that happens twice.
Yeah.
Feeling
Yeah.
kind of depressed. Stop it.
All right. Yeah. So they slink around and they go into it. They come out of one of the secret tunnels into a jewelry store, and she's like, "Watch this! I'm gonna steal some jewels for a ruse that never comes up."
Oh, no, it does.
It comes up in speech, but it's not like she ever has to prove that she was there stealing jewels.
That was her proof that she was there
Yeah.
for a not honorable purpose.
Yeah. She busts one of the cabinets and starts like immediately pulling out pearl necklaces, which I was like, oh, she's gonna Home Alone this shit and like throw them on the floor, and then we're gonna get like a Scooby Doo whoop whoop whoop.
You would think.
Yeah.
We don't get that
but,
either.
But no, this was their plan. Is like they busted up there, which of course immediately they're like they're in the jewelry store or something like that. So they have
Yeah.
to every time they get like caught or whatever, it's like they have to go running.
Yeah.
Eventually, at one point, our bad guy, who's basically discount William Sadler,
Yeah. Yes.
is like calls her up and is just like,
Well, he appears on the giant video
he
wall.
does, and like
He's like, I'm going to kill a
He's like-
hostage unless you call this extension right now, lady.
yeah. Basically, the ruse is like they assume she's a cop, except that he does this thing where it's like, you better get on the phone or I'm going to kill these people, or unless you give me the kid. And she gets on the phone and she's like, I'm not a cop. It's like, I was here like planning the perfect heist. I'm much better at thieving than you are.
I almost get out of here if it weren't for you damn terrorists.
Yeah, and they're like, is that right? Did anybody notice anything missing? And like his second in command, who's like the worst actor, he just can't speak.
He's pretty bad.
And he's like, oh yeah, somebody broke into the jewelry store or something. We forgot to tell you. And he's
Yeah.
like, why didn't you tell me that?
And you didn't tell me.
Also, this guy has been at his side this entire time. There's no way he should know that this jewelry store got robbed.
Yeah, but that's her ruse, is that like
Yeah.
she was there robbing the place. Like
Story checks
it's
out.
a Catwoman story kind
Right.
of thing, and yeah. But so like they for a while think she's not a cop, which really again doesn't really play into the grand scheme of things. It's
No.
just it gives her some brief breathing room,
It
or I don't
gives
know.
some lax, like, well, she's not a cop, so she's not going to be a threat, so she's not...
we still need the kid back.
Yeah, she's not priority number one, but still get her.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another fight at one point where she fights some dudes and steals one of their backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
And her and the kid get into another safe room.
Yeah, they find like some weird, crazy back room.
Yeah, and they go through the backpack, and she finds like this antidote. And she's like, antidote? VX gas? What the hell?
Yeah, it's nerve agent antidote.
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
I don't know.
She knows that because she went through
SEAL
SEAL
training.
training.
That's
She was in the
right.
Navy, and she completed SEAL training, but
Yeah.
she wasn't allowed to
She was
be
like,
a SEAL
I know,
'cause-
blah, 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 medication when I see it.
Yeah,
Atropine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a conversation there that's a
Yes.
little weird, but yeah. So yes, turns out there's a side plot because like after she finds that, they sneak around somewhere else and see guys in like full hazmat suits and big canisters and stuff, and yeah. So
Yeah, because at one point we're like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Had they gone down to
so
that
now
invitation to hell where like the astronauts have flamethrowers?
So now we've dropped that bit of knowledge now. So it's a weird like side plot to this. I mean, it's kind of the Die Hard thing of like, oh, there is something else because they were going to get their buddies out, get the money, get a getaway method, and fucking
then-
murder everybody.
Yeah,
gas
and then
half
gas
the
everybody.
town.
Yeah.
Basically.
I guess they are white
It's
supremacists.
it's
I mean, they're
The
more
Rock.
domestic terrorists, which I know people don't
Yeah.
like to say, but it's true.
But yeah, it's the plot of The Rock like 3 years before The Rock, which is kind of strange. They even have a scene where a canister is rolling towards an edge of something that she has to grab at the last minute. The Rock ripped this movie off.
They ripped off Cynthia. It's the Cynthia Rothrock. That's what it is.
Oh, I get
I
it.
was looking for the joke there, and
Oh.
I'm sorry that I only found that one.
It's okay.
Oh, because The Rock is in her name.
Cynthia Roth.
Yes,
The Rock.
that is the joke.
Okay.
Cynthia Roth, The Rock.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dwayne Cynthia Johnson, The Rock.
Johnson.
Yes. Stacy Keach is in the building. He finally got through the garbage chute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All of this stuff happened,
Yeah.
like her fighting somebody, like them going to the room, just taking the backpack, like or breaking the jewelry case. All of that happened, and then finally he's like, "Oh, I'm through the garbage chute." That was
Yeah.
just like 6 feet.
Yes. And I think that's when he confronts the dude who's getting a cup of coffee at the. He's in the
vending
hallway for
machine?
like 2 seconds, and there's a guy who walks over to the vending machine, and it's just like, the hell, Stacy Keach is here. And Stacy Keach, I forget what he says to him when he.
Well, the guy goes, "We're just gonna kill you both."
Yeah.
And he goes, "This is a good thing to think about. Why don't you sleep on it?"
Yeah. And then fucking headbutts him. Like old man Stacy Keach headbutt.
And then he reacts to the headbutt because
Yeah,
he's
like,
like,
ow.
"Man, that fucking hurt." He's like rubbing his head.
Yeah. I think at some point Rothrock gets into a fight in like a knockoff Crate and Barrel.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's like a
Here, too.
electors
Sure.
back in the day.
Yeah. Which like guy comes at her with a knife and she fights him off with a cutting board.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Guy goes through a wall of glasses and then through the glass window behind that. She
dual wields frying pans.
yes.
Yep.
And a couple of dudes get bonged really good. You get
Foley is real nice.
The
Yeah.
Foley is amazing.
Yes.
Just for that part.
Yeah, because the guy comes at her with like dual butcher knives, and apparently this is a video game where because she's used the chopping block, long enough to where it just has disintegrated and is no longer in our reality.
It was flashing. She saw it. We didn't.
Yeah, so she picks up 2 frying pans and fights that dude.
Well, no, she chucked the chopping block at the guy.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
it was out of her reach.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she dual wields frying pans.
That's probably the best fight in the movie. That's like the most like impactful fight in the movie.
Yeah, and like I said, at some point, Stacy Keach has crawled out of that, headbutted the dude, and is like trying to catch up to her.
Yeah.
And he has a machine gun now. Ho, ho, ho.
He does. Yes. He took that man's machine gun because he is a good cop
Yes.
who is off the force.
You don't leave people's guns behind, damn it.
Nope.
And now, so then all of a sudden, was it the lieutenant governor that shows up?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the lieutenant governor shows up outside and is on the phone with the knockoff William Sadler, and basically they're like having this back and forth of like, what exactly do you want? And
Yeah, and he's like, you need to release all of my guys and give me $1 million, and you got half the hostages when you let me go, and then half the hostages once we're free and clear.
yep,
And then she's like,
well,
we'll have to discuss these terms.
we
And he's
can't
like,
really
"Here."
negotiate that.
Yeah, he's like, well, why don't you do? Here's someone who can. Here's the governor, and the governor's like all flop sweaty. He's like, oh my god, just fucking do it, man.
Give 'em what they
Just-
want.
Just give them everything. If they want anything else, like you know what, give them $200 million. Just give them everything. I swear to God.
I mean, this mall costs $14 billion. It's
Yeah.
the greatest thing ever.
We'll just sell them all off piece by piece to pay for it.
Did you see that amazing CG outside?
I would like to point out the name of the actress.
Oh, yes.
Penny Hackforth Jones.
Yes.
Born Penelope Beatrix Hackforth Jones.
Well.
Yes.
Oh.
In Greenwich, Connecticut.
So did she? I guess did she? Like when you hyphenate your name, is that like you taking? Is like the new husband's name the last of
No,
the
she
hyphenate?
was born
Oh,
as
she was-
Penelope Beatrix Hackforth Jones.
So is it
Over
Hackforth Dash Jones?
Yes. Yes.
I'm just curious, like where she got a pedestrian name like Jones with all that other
I
bullshit.
don't know. I don't know. Ask her father.
I mean, you can't even like fancy it up like Smythe.
Con Smithing
Jonas.
Ritherton.
Yeah.
So they do.
Yeah, they're
She's like, all right,
Well, this begins
well-
the ticking clock of they're like, don't let those 2 cops in there fuck it up. So every
Yeah.
time they get on the line with them, they're like, hey, just surrender. We're giving them everything they want. And they're like, but there's VX Nerfcast. And this is where like all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, I was going to say an army guy, but he's a National Guard guy.
Right.
Shows
National
up.
Guardsman, yeah.
Yeah, the National Guard guy shows up, and it's just like, the fuck is going on here, Lieutenant dipshit SWAT guy? And he's-
Dipshit Swaddington Overton Smythe.
Yeah, he's like, I heard there was like VX gas
Yeah.
there.
Well-
and he's like, it's tear gas. It's not really confirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they tell Nash, they're like, listen, dude, it's VX. And he's like, how do you know? And she's like, I understand what the medication is, the antidote. I've seen it. It's got Russian and Arabic writing on it. It's nerve gas. And he's like, well,
Yeah.
I
Well, he goes,
think it's
well,
just tear gas.
No, he goes, oh, where'd you learn to read Russian?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
What's that? What issue did he first appear in?
Yes.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
many movies have you seen by him?
He's just going on and on and on about how it's not.
if you're really a fan, name 14 of their albums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
name 14 of Nervgas's album.
What's the chemical formula?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just completely just like, it's probably not. And then, Mr.
yeah.
National Guard is behind him. And he's
Yeah.
like, what's all this then?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's all this about VX gas?
Now he shows up, and this is where I got a little bit confused because he implies that like all in the same robbery, they took the plastic explosives that are blowing up the cars, the grenade launcher, and
After
all-
the Gulf War,
Right.
there was a robbery.
and the VX nerve gas.
Yes.
So, and it seems to me that they were implying that Skippy Boy guy,
Skippy Boy guy.
his dad was the one who did it.
No, I think it was just like German
No?
man
Just-
in
just
there. Because they remember Stacey Keach said German man disappeared for a while. He went to the Gulf War and stole a bunch of nerve gas
Okay,
for his white supremacist movement.
It's just because the whole crux of the kidnapping thing is
Yeah.
because the guy, the dad whose son got kidnapped, works. He's like the mechanic for the police helicopters.
Yes.
And so like he's sabotaging them as they're like being called in to do all this shit, which is weird because it doesn't really mean anything. Like it never plays off. He just has like second thoughts or something.
I think they were. Well, I know they said that they were just going to follow him from the air, so that cuts that off. Like,
Well-
the evil plan is thinking ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although his part in the story is not that great. It's just a device to get the kid into the
Right.
trio so that later on down the road,
They can have a tech
We can
kid
have
who's
yeah.
like, "Hey
Yeah,
kid,
smarmy
look this
kid
up
in the-
on the internet.
smarmy kid on the internet
Right.
or on the
I looked it up.
TV
On,
series.
I looked it up on web crawler.
Get on your CompuServe, kid.
Right. Fire up Prodigy.
Go to the town hall and open your email."
Go to Alta Vista and search for this. But yeah,
Alta La Vista.
Why does this town use nothing but Alta Vista?
I don't know. Ask Jeeves. But yeah, so like basically, this guy was just like having her qualify everything she suspected. Like,
He was like, "Really?
what would happen with any other cop of like, look, I saw them in hazmat suits. They have VX gas. I found an atropine kit, and then this guy's like, well, how do you speak this? And then
Yeah.
the Army guys or the National Guard guy was just like, oh no, that shit was stolen.
Yeah.
It makes total sense that the VX gas would be here. Case closed.
Yeah.
And so they're like,
And I
oh
was like,
shit.
well, yeah,
He
that
ded-
checks out.
Yeah, he deduces that from all the
Yeah.
plastic explosive.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah, he's just like, makes sense. It's all together. So here it is. So we better. This is a whole different ball game now.
Yep.
And so yeah, now it's like, okay, do your thing, because
So German Man has shouted at his men to suit up, to put their hazmat suits on, and they're just in a pile on the mall floor.
They're setting them out so that everybody doesn't have to go digging for their own size.
Whatever. But like they're in a pile and mostly unguarded, to where Stacy Keach just runs over and sets them on fire.
Yep.
So
they have to radio in like, hey, our suits are
they're burning the suits.
like, plan's fucked, sir.
Yeah. So they're all shooting at each other for a while, and eventually, like, so there was a bit earlier where the kid was one by one stealing all these entry forms to win a motorcycle out of
dirt
this,
bike.
out of this bike store, and
It'd be a mixed store.
and eventually Cynthia Rothrock is she like has, because she crumpled one up and I guess put it in her pocket, but she pulls it out and it's just like, I got an idea. And it's like, yeah, okay, we know what it is. So they run to this bike store and close the door, and the bad guy's like, ha ha, we got him. Go shoot up the bike store. And they just slink up to it, and they're just standing there, and they're standing outside the big plate glass window, and then all of a sudden you see the headlight on a motorcycle flip on, and then bike comes out through the
Again, dirt bike.
Yes.
Not a superimposing.
Fine,
No. I'm pointing it out because a motorcycle would have a little
Sure.
like a 10-year-old can pick up a dirt bike when it falls over.
Fine. Yeah, so
It's just like they all dive out of the way like, holy shit, dirt bike!
a self-propelled device. Get the fuck out.
I mean, you have machine guns. You don't go like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
dirt
they're
bike.
all just like, fuck it, we're out.
They were surprised.
Yeah.
But they drive over one dude, and she punches one as they drive by him, and I think she steals his gun all in like one swipe. And then they have to lay the bike down, and it takes out a dude who was standing there waiting for them.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
So
Good
eventually
stuff.
they get to the hostages, and it's like, they're shooting at people, and they get the hostages away, and she mans the grenade launcher, and they call out a fire in the hole and shoot the blast door,
He
basically.
actually taps her on the shoulder, like, you're good, tap, tap.
Send it.
And she blows this cartoon-sized hole in the wall.
And then all the SWAT guys are like, oh,
It's like,
Hut,
oh, the
hut,
hostages
hut,
are
hut, hut, hut.
get them. Yeah, because for some reason the SWAT team is now like on the steps, ready to go. They're just like, all right, let's. The National Guard man told us to go in, so let's go. So yeah,
National Guard finally outranked that fucking lieutenant somehow.
yeah. So anyway, hostages spill out. SWAT team runs in. They capture the tall guy who can't act, and are just like, look, guy, you're caught. Tell us where the bad guy is. And he's like, I never liked that guy anyway. He's on the roof.
Yeah. And he's captured what's his face. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, we never saw that. Like, oh, you were hiding here.
The kid.
They left the kid hiding somewhere,
yeah.
and I guess.
But he grabbed him and went up to the roof.
Yeah.
And so he's got the rock style, like, one canister that's, I guess, ready to launch or open or whatever it does.
He's just going to shoot it open.
He's got one. He's like, I've got one bullet left in this gun.
No, well, that's after he taunts her because, like,
Right.
she follows, like, Stacey Keach is, like, down helping with the hostages and everything else. And she goes up there to get the kid or whatever. It's like, we're not leaving without him. And then you can kill what's-his-face.
Yeah.
And,
Well, Stacy Keach follows her for that.
Yeah, because he gets shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, because they get into
eventually,
a gunfight in the room before.
Where all the canisters are.
Yeah.
And they kind of shoot one that just it blows all over them, but I think it's supposed to be a vent or something.
Yeah, it's a vent. It's not one of the canisters.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
another thing.
somehow she ends up on the roof with the discount William Sadler and the kid by herself. And then he's done like well, I've been looking forward to this. Fight me.
Yes.
Debate me.
Debate me.
And then that's when he drops his magazine and like he's like, I have one bullet and I don't think that's enough to stop someone as fast as you, but I could shoot this VX nerve gas or the kid.
It's basically like I can put a bullet in you, or I can shoot this gas and and just murder the town. It's up to you. Which is it going to be?
So fight me.
Yeah.
And so she's like,
Fight me.
all right.
So she comes out to fight him, and his superpower is blocking.
Yeah.
He's like, I can block your telegraphed moves.
He's good at blocking, and I mean, it's Cynthia Rothrock. She is good at kicking and punching.
Yes.
Um,
There's some good flipping.
yeah, there's some good flipping. Excuse me. The choreography is not really all that great in this fight. The flipping is pretty good.
Sure.
But, it's a real
risky,
slow
though.
fight.
I mean, in theory, they're on the roof of the 18-story mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does
They're
do
on-
like a gymnastics set of somersaults for some reason. I don't know why.
Just hi.
because fun.
Yeah. she
But
can.
eventually, yes, as you said, it ends in a rock style. Like the canister is rolling towards the roof, so she's like kicked him and then has to do the diving. Like, oh no!
It's almost the same shot,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're at that standstill, and then Stacy Keach wanders out.
Well, he's like got his gun back and he's going to shoot her. He's like, well, at least I'm going to shoot you. And
Yeah.
Stacy Keach comes out and
He does the guy's
well,
like,
he's like, hey, and so he turns around. he actually kind of does. He's like, he calls his name or whatever,
Yeah.
but he turns around and like, click, he's run out of bullets, which is like, really, Stacy Keach, you're a cop. You didn't like check that beforehand, but he does the
which
click.
is weird because he did check it
did check
several
it
times earlier.
But he clicks his gun and then has to do like a combat roll and I guess draws his backup gun
Yes.
and ends up shooting this guy.
Yeah.
So.
He does a combat roll right as the guy is shooting his one bullet.
Right.
And pops up and murders that man.
Yep. And everything's fine. It's
And
just,
high five freeze frame.
Yeah, it's just
You'd think, but then there's 5 more minutes of just like, well, we got to wrap this up and bring back all the ancillary characters, including Paul Winfield, who I guess they just turned his jet around.
Well, they said it's going to be 6. Did they say it's going to be 6 hours before we can get the
it's
chief
weird.
back
Like, I mean,
or something like that?
Yeah.
Or
I just feel
it's
like
going to be 9 p.m. before we can get the chief back.
even if he was on a commercial airliner, if you go like, hey, one of your passengers is the chief of police of this town and there's a hostage situation, I'm pretty sure they divert that plane back.
No.
Well, for this
No?
mall, absolutely.
Yes, for
Yes,
this
the
mall.
governor
Okay,
would have
yes.
ordered
For the
it.
most important
Yeah, the
mall
governor
in
did.
America.
He did say that in his
Yes.
plea to the lieutenant governor.
Exactly.
So for God's sake, bring the chief of police back.
He's our only hope.
I just-
and he just rolls up and is just like, Stacy Keach, here's your badge.
Yeah.
Hey, lady, you get a badge too.
And you
Well,
get a
see ya.
badge. Everybody check under your chairs.
He's
You
just
all
like,
get badges.
y'all are good cops now. I got to go back to the car.
And Stacy Keach's wife shows up for no reason, just to be like, "Oh, you
Oh,
got
I told-
minorly shot
you got
again.
shot
Why don't
again."
you try ducking?"
Yeah.
Also, I'm not really gonna wet blanket you because I'm.
Yeah.
She's
No.
just like, I have a
Good
cop's
for this
wife.
movie,
Yeah.
not letting the wife
Just
be the wife.
try to duck and don't die.
Mm-hmm.
And Cynthia Rothrock calls her dad or something. I think.
Yes. Because she
No, she starts butchering his first name because he had
she
been
called
doing it to her.
She called her dad.
And so
Oh,
like,
called her. Okay.
yeah, turn on the TV because
He didn't
I
call-
just
she
graduated.
didn't-
That's
call Stacey
okay. I
Keach
thought that's
dad,
what
yeah.
you were saying. I was like, I don't remember
No,
that at all.
'cause
Yeah.
she had talked earlier about
Yeah.
how she had to call her dad and tell him that he shouldn't come up for her graduation because
Right.
she's not going to graduate.
Yeah.
And so she calls him.
To turn on the TV and
Turn on the TV.
see her graduate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's just like they're standing in front of the cameras, and I don't know. There's some more dumb stuff with the kid for a second.
Yeah, hey, you suck at karate.
Yeah,
I watch
I watch
kickboxing all the
videos.
time, so I know how you
Yes.
should karate better.
If you need pointers, little lady.
Yeah, we need a teen guy giving Cynthia Rothrock
Yeah.
pointers on how to kick people in the head.
Teen splaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
That's just
he
setting
is
up
a
the,
male soon to be on the internet, so
Right.
of course.
Yeah.
that's
Not
just
on that Game Boy.
Yeah, no.
it's just setting up for the eventual TV series,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
I am now mad that we didn't get.
I would have watched a couple of episodes
I would have
of it.
never seen this until we watched this,
Yeah.
and then I would go binge watch the entirety of it.
Yeah. Just to see what their thing is every week. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
What's-
this would be a total background show, but I'd still probably
Yeah.
put it on in the background.
like what's happening in this unnamed town? Like, how are you getting past the devastation of the mall? Like,
what's
what's
no
the
hostages
economy
died.
like?
what's the real secret behind the white cobras?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
everyone a white cobra? Like,
Yeah.
is Stacy Keach a white
Like you said,
cobra?
Paul Winfield is going to be a white cobra
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. Just Cynthia Rothrock has
That
to
only
kick
happens
them all
during
in the head.
sweeps week.
Right.
Yes.
It's discovered.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's over.
Yep.
No Stargrove.
Nope.
I don't remember a single damn thing about the music in this.
TV music.
Yeah.
Was there any music?
Not songs, no.
No, I just mean like I don't even remember like score.
Sure, there was dun, 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 and
Oh, sure.
dun, dun, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, the staples. Dun, dun.
Oh, easy button.
Yeah, more sinister,
Okay.
crunchy, easy. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, ratings.
Yeah. I'll go.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't gone first in a while.
Yeah.
This movie's surprisingly fine. I mean, it's. I mean, like
Surprisingly fine.
every time, like we pick up something and it's like that's not Killdozer when we go like TV movie. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, Wheels of Terror.
Wheels of Terror. That's the one I'm thinking. Killdozer, was that a TV movie? Too?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Did we watch that?
No.
No.
Christmas Rush.
I was confused. It's Wheels of Terror.
Yeah. Yeah, most like we've had like that Wes Craven TV movie was the suck, but yeah, it's weird. Like somehow we have gravitated towards TV movies that haven't been like they've been stereotypical, but they haven't been just boring, unwatchable. I mean, you know, Universal Soldier 2 the other day was one of the worst things.
Yeah.
But for BMFcast Prime anyway, yeah, we've done okay with TV movies.
But I mean, it's not super awesome either. I'm gonna give it 2 jocks. It's actually it's a little bit better than a mild recommend. Like Cynthia Rothrock does some Cynthia Rothrocking and kicking, and it's kind of fun. And there's kind of fun banter from time to time. But like the terrorist plot is incomprehensible. There's a lot of things missing. You know, like it's strange. It feels like this was like maybe even a longer thing that they edited down because it just feels like there's stuff missing from this movie.
I mean, keep in mind, this movie is 70 minutes. Like, this is not even a full 2-hour movie premiere. Like, hey, we're putting out all the stops. Come see our new show.
With commercials, I mean, that's closer to 90 minutes.
No, but I mean, like, a 2-hour movie would be an hour and a half without commercials. This is like
the same
20
as
minutes
90
shorter
minutes.
than that. It just, yeah. Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
It's normally a movie like this, I would probably agree with you and give it 2 jocks, but I'm going to give it 3 just because it is a way better than average TV movie. It's not great, and it's not great in comparison to maybe other 3 jocks movies and above, but for what this is, it is surprisingly easy to watch and kind of fun. It's not... They didn't... So... I mean, like, obviously there's no language, there's barely any violence, but like the fight scenes are okay. You can tell they're holding back because it's like, don't murder these men because it's a TV show.
Yeah,
but it's I mean, you know, some dudes get wrecked.
I like the kitchen utensil.
Yeah,
fight.
I mean, that was
utensil one is good.
pretty good. I mean, she has skills, and again,
Well,
it's
no shit.
She had skillets.
yeah.
That's a joke.
It's just it's so frustrating because we have now seen more movies, I think, where she's a sidekick than she is the star. And I
She's
know
very
that's
good at sidekicks.
and front kicks and all the kicks, but
That little reverse crane kick.
Scorpion kick?
Yeah.
Scorpion kick, yeah.
but yeah, it's just strange that for the long and look, I mean, she's not a great actress. We learned that from this.
That's correct.
She needs less
We've
lines
learned that from other things
and
too.
more kicking, but I'm always amazed when you see someone who has skills and you're like, why didn't this person become a thing? Like, why did they languish in these grade Z things for so long? Why did no one know what to do with you? You've taken other people who can't talk and made them into superstars. Why can't, someone figure it out?
And Cynthia Rothrock is weird. She's not bad
No.
at the acting.
No.
I said when that movie ended, I was like, I think give Cynthia Rothrock like 6 more acting lessons, and this TV show works.
Well, strangely, a dialect coach. I mean, I know dialect coaches typically for people who that English is not their first language, but they also just teach people how to speak more naturally when acting.
Right,
and that's the
right.
thing is like a lot of what she says is kind of stilted and it's weird.
Yeah, she doesn't deliver her lines very well. She does like the not the like action physical movements, but she does the emoting and everything well. She just has a speech pattern thing that's not great.
I mean, you could have made her a little more stoic and not as quippy. Like you had Stacy Keach being the talky man, because that's really all he's here for. Let him do the bulk of the work. and she's there to kick ass. I mean,
Well,
I'm not saying don't give her lines.
yeah.
I'm just saying maybe don't make her as chatty as she was.
Yeah, it was nice to see that out of Cynthia Rothrock.
Yes.
And we did. Stacy Keach definitely carried that movie with the quippiness. I really rather liked this movie. I didn't quite 4 jocks like it. I'm like a 3.8, but not quite enough to make me want to round up to a 4. So I'm just going to go with 3.
Okay.
There was just something super charming. Like I really liked Cynthia Rothrock being quippy and sort of playing against her usual type, which is just kind of mean mugging. Stacy Keach was great. What was his name? Christopher Neame, our main villain. I thought he was really good. I liked the way that he delivered his lines. Like when he was on the phone with Cynthia Rothrock, he kept like pulling the phone away, clicking a little mute button,
Right.
and talking, like saying a couple quick one-liners to his henchmen,
Yeah.
and then unmuting the phone and pulling it back up. Like,
No, that is fine.
yeah,
He also had this way of licking his lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After he'd say something that was just like, "Oh, you're a piece of shit."
yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't quite as German as you guys are making him out to be.
Not at all.
He didn't.
He's no Til
actually,
Schweiger.
Yeah. Til Schweiger. He's actually English, I believe.
Okay.
But
He's vaguely Euro trashy.
yeah,
That's the,
he sounds vaguely, lightly European.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he did a great job, and the kid was not unbearable for once.
he was all right.
Yeah, he did okay, and he went on to write one of our favorite movies. So, good kid.
Good on you, kid.
Good job.
Good job, kid.
Way to go, kid.
Way to not grow up in. Well, he might be a dickhead in real life. We don't know.
It's probably all right.
Way to grow up and do good things.
Yeah. You're
But-
probably all right, kid.
Yeah.
We hope you're all right.
3 of the jocks.
All right.
For Irresistible Force.
Yeah, I think I'm going 2. I mean, it was all right, but I don't find anything super special about it aside from Stacy Keach having a few one-liners, and I wish they'd done a little more with her doing the Die Hard thing for a while, because like that's kind of like, all right, this feels like a Rothrock wheelhouse right here, but I think the TV moviness kind of holds this one back a lot. And of course in the IMDb trivia, it was supposed to be a vehicle for her, and then once he came on board, it was like, well, I'm Stacy Keach.
Yeah.
You need to pump up my role. I'm not the sidekick, and once again, Cynthia Rothrock is relegated to the sidekick kind of. But I wouldn't say that. I'd say like they're uneven. I think they're on even footing throughout this movie. I think they have probably just about the same screen time.
Yes. I think this is the weird thing. I think if she was coming into her own right now, she would be a ridiculous megastar.
Yes.
Because people would be giving her a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because we just don't have anybody. Like,
I mean, this is not to sound derogatory, but like, we are at the point where we are taking people who aren't action stars and making them action stars.
Right.
Like we're doing this to Charlize Theron
Yes.
and stuff like that. It's like all props to her because she's doing it pretty well. But I mean, it's like it would be a lot cooler to have somebody who's like action first and I can learn acting.
Yeah.
So the other way around.
right.
I think it would be fun. But
Yeah. I mean, like, every once in a while, somebody tries to just like, hey, Ronda Rousey is a person. And you're just like, yeah, but
except
like,
she has even less personality than Cynthia
yeah,
Rothrock.
but like, even like the Fast and Furious movie had her in it for like 7 seconds. It's like, you look at her and go, yeah, this lady. And then you're like, oh,
then she talked.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Gina Carano, kind of the same way.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's kind of aged out a little bit. I mean,
Yeah, but she can still kick ass.
Oh, absolutely. I would not pick a fight with her, even in the slightest. But I'd be
Right.
saying, like, that's the thing is, like, I think too much now. We don't have any like pure action stars anymore. It's like it's all action movies have to be this like stylistic like thing that's better, and we don't just have action trash so much anymore.
Yeah.
Like, people have
Scott
training.
Adkins. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people have training for like whatever role it is they're about to do, and they can make it look believable. But it's not like, man, Charlize Theron will kick your fucking ass. It's like, no, okay, that's movie magic, basically. Don't get me wrong. Like, I probably wouldn't fight Charlize Theron either.
I wouldn't, because she seems like a really nice lady. So.
Exactly. Why I wouldn't want to fight her. Yeah. But, it's just like, there's not someone where you're like, that person is a fucking badass. And they're, it's like, as goofy as Van Damme had been during his heyday, like, still, I don't think anyone would just want to be like, hey, Van Damme, let's fucking go at it, you fucking pussy. It's like, no.
Steven Seagal. I'd pick a fight with Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal's a fucking
These
that
days,
guy.
But
no, even then.
No, back then back then the mythos was you don't fuck with Steven Seagal.
I'm going to call complete and total bullshit on everything to do with him ever.
I still think a lot of that stuff was staged, especially when you see the shit that he's trying to do at Expos now.
Well, sure.
I think
understandable.
Yeah.
Like right now, his mythos has been crushed. We've seen beyond the veil.
Sure.
Yeah.
We know that he sucks now, but back in 1995, nobody fucked with Steven Seagal.
No, because
Sure.
he was a P.T. Barnum of acting. It was like, I'm fucking amazing. It's like, okay, yeah, you have a fucking ponytail. I mean,
right.
that's you've got to have some balls to actually do that.
Right.
We've seen you run.
Ponytail and you're wearing a kimono. I wouldn't fuck with The Rock.
No.
Oh, God, no. No.
No, I mean, like, I'm not saying there aren't action stars. I'm saying that, like, but even The Rock isn't doing trash action. I'm saying, like, we need there's a market for, like, for just not like I'm making a film. I want a fucking action movie. I just want dumb shit. Like,
I have an idea for you.
Okay.
There's a movie trailer, a small independent film that The Rock is in, coming very soon, called Hobbs and Shaw.
Right. That's still a fucking spectacle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking, no, and I'm 100% on board. What I'm saying is, like, there aren't these, like, what we watch. Like, nobody makes those kind of movies
Oh, so
anymore.
you want like the Rundown Rock?
Except maybe John Wick.
John Wick. I was
Even
gonna say,
still,
yeah.
it's all super stylized. I'm talking about not a $40 million. I'm talking about a $2 million movie with like some people that like get a martial art dude and teach him a little bit to act and that kind of shit.
A martial arts person who, if they weren't pulling their punches, if one thing is an inch wrong, the person they are sparring with in the scene is dead. That kind of thing. When you watch these movies that have like, it's the IBF middleweight kickboxing dude from 1992, it's like, all right, this guy could probably murder another person in this scene if they wanted to. That kind of thing. You don't have that kind of like, this person is a threat and they had to learn how to not be.
You want Superfoot back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I want everyone in super fights to be doing stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like everyone in super fights, you're like, my God, they're all going to murder someone if this goes wrong.
Yeah, I am talking about the Billy Blanks, the Mark Dacascos of
Yes.
that era. I'm like, those people have just enough charisma to pull off the acting part of a movie, and then I believe that they could actually murder somebody.
Yeah. I mean, we still have not gotten into the 90s of all of the subterranean, like B tier, C tier. This dude has skills but can't act, and he's in 80 movies in the 90s. There were so many of these dudes and a few ladies, and now it's just like, it's Scott Adkins or nothing. And I've seen a couple of Scott Adkins movies, and I'm just not, I don't get it. I still don't get it. Like, I'm waiting for the right Scott Adkins movie to come along where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, now I get it. But so far, I've just been like, why do you like this guy? He's just kind of a meathead. He's a muscular, lanky meathead who looks like he could fight, but it's just like, I feel like everyone's telling me Scott Adkins is that guy, and I'm just like, is he?
Yeah.
Just looking at his photo, like on IMDb, no, he's just a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all
he's just the last of the dudes where it's like, oh, this guy was an amazing karate artist, and so we've made him a movie star because of that.
Yeah, I just
thing
think
where that doesn't happen anymore. It's like they grabbed some MMA dumbass.
Was
He was like, I can put a chokehold on somebody, and that's it.
You know what the problem probably actually is the fact that you can make money doing MMA now. Like back then, it was like, I'm awesome at karate. It's like,
who cares?
Great, pay your rent.
Here's a trophy.
Yeah, here's a trophy, and good luck paying your rent.
Yeah.
So that like it's like the fact that like UFC and everything came along. It's like, no, you can actually doing what you're good at, do this. But I would think that like a lot of these people would be like, I made a little bit of a name. I'd rather not get punched in the face with actual force.
Yeah. Actual force
Well,
next week on the podcast.
I'm just saying, like, while I'm still kind of relatively pretty, let me go just do the movie thing.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, when we make our list of time travel things, kill Hitler, stop Napster, kidnap Cynthia Rothrock, bring her to the future.
Gotcha. Yeah. Stop Napster's on the list?
Yes.
Oh.
We've had this fight.
Okay. I'm just like, that's pretty low on my like what's wrong with the world.
Well, now, yeah, I'm thinking of my old list.
Okay.
It
Sorry.
devalued all creative media.
It did.
All right.
Once it was free.
Well, I think
Yeah.
probably more so to go back and like talk to the New York Times and everybody and be like, don't put your shit on free. Like that probably would have like
Yeah,
nipped it in the bud right from the beginning. Like people pay for your product. Why would you put it online for free?
I still think once
I don't know
music-
why have we been putting a product online for free for 9 years.
Hey, visit us at patreon.com/BMFcast.
there we go.
Yay! We did a thing.
Ding. Need a little ad bell.
Anyway, how about we take a break, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll take a break. We need to record some more Patreon bumpers, don't we?
Yeah.
We need new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I even have one, do I?
No.
I need one. I gotta come
And
up
I
with
had to
some
kill
clever-
one of BJ's because he said, "Hey kids, it's 2018," and I was like, "Oh shit, can't run this one anymore."
Wait, I got you.
Hey kids, it's 2019.
That's
Splice
somehow
that
even-
in.
That's somehow even funnier. It's like he says that, then it's BJ.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll allow it.
Hey, kids.
Hey, kids.
Hey.
Wow. I love that your porn but not list.
Yeah.
This one guy who's like, no, you're confusing two different genres of movie. It's like,
Okay,
dude,
guy.
These are Skinamax movies. Shut your fucking face.
Yeah. They are both movies that you don't want on when your mom walks through the room. Son, those people are fucking. No,
they're-
Mom. Actually, they are not.
Yeah.
They are just bumping limp
These
genitals.
are awesomely stylish neo-noir erotic thrillers, which are still well remembered to this day by fans of the subgenre.
Yeah, it's
You're
just-
confusing two different film types here.
I'm really not.
I have seen thousands of neo-noir
Oh,
erotic
Kilati.
thrillers, and this is by far the worst.
The worst.
My 8 followers agree with me on this.
This
Yeah.
is by far.
I mean, listen, guy. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate that you took the time. But I know what I'm doing here.
The worst.
You have confused.
There
the
is something
two.
about like, and I don't know what it is, but like Letterbox, when people just get shut down on Letterbox by the person who originally posted the thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's the best. It's not like Twitter at all. It's like there's something about Letterbox where you can just be like, nah, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
What did I read today that made me laugh so hard? It's just the comeback to something, and it was like somebody directly naming someone else, and then the guy just replied back. It was like, "You're a plank." I was just like,
You're a plank.
yeah. I was just like, I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be a Scottish Twitter thing, and it's fucking awesome. Like, you're a fucking plank. And I was like,
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Scottish insult game is
so strong,
Yeah, real good.
strongest in the world.
You're a fucking plank. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I like it. It could be horrible. I could
Like,
be
we
saying the
need-
worst thing right now, and I have no
Like
idea.
we need more Scottish rappers, really, like Scottish rap battles.
Yeah.
The problem is you would not be able to understand a word they're saying,
Yeah.
but once you did, you would understand how bad they were insulting each other.
Yeah.
It's my stage name. It's Karen Killam.
Nice. So I know Chuck's got a movie.
I do. I have-
Anybody else?
I have a movie.
No.
Let's talk about second half now.
BJ. No, participate. Get over here.
Hey, it's 2019. Get on the podcast.
Put your money tongues in our wallet buttholes.
Those are the greatest words I've ever put on.
Really
tape.
good.
Tape.
Tape.
Speaking about the pedantic people of like subgenreing everything, that's why I call every bit of electronic music techno. Like, that's a really good
Yeah.
techno track, kid. Actually,
EDM.
Okay.
Oh, no, the EDM's even still too
Oh, I
broad.
know.
I'm just saying, like,
You
actually,
could also
it's-
call it electronica.
it's electro Euro dance hip trash. It's like, oh,
House.
okay, yeah, all right.
It's acoustic deep house. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's some good techno.
Thumpcore.
Of all the shit I see in my feed on Twitter, the one thing that will get me to unfollow you the fastest is if you start arguing why a horror movie isn't a horror movie. Fuck off with this new thing of, well, technically it's more of a urban thriller than, it's just like, the fuck is happening? Like, when did we start gatekeeping what horror movies are?
I actually do the opposite. I gatekeep and I throw things in that people don't generally consider a horror movie and be like, no, that's a fucking horror movie.
You gate break.
Yeah, gate break.
Gate break.
Well, there's a whole bunch of things that people don't consider horror movies. Like, when people are talking about the best horror movie, no one ever mentions fucking Alien. And it's like, that's a fucking horror movie.
It absolutely is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, you're an idiot. No, it's sci-fi. Fuck you. It's
Everybody thinks that Alien is a horror movie because of Aliens.
no.
Or thinks it's like an action movie or a sci-fi thriller because of Aliens, I think.
Aliens is an action movie. And
Yeah. I think people just
Alien is a slasher movie in space. That's
people
all it
think-
is, and it's fucking great.
people think of what the Alien franchise has become.
Oh,
And
sure. I mean, I wouldn't
completely
call
get-
Resurrection
Yeah.
a horror movie. It's a body horror movie. I mean, that movie goes some weird fucked up place. I mean, if someone wanted to call it a horror movie, fine. I wouldn't argue with you, but
Yeah.
You could also make
mean,
an
as-
argument that Alien is heavily sci-fi, but
Well, yeah,
it's
sure.
it's
But
definitely
that's all setting.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but it's like, it's something we don't even have a word for. It's like, there should be a word that's like, sci-fi is like, okay, there's laser swords and shit that it's like, it's so out, and mind bugs or whatever the hell it is that give you powers. But Alien is like plausible. I mean, it's like, it should be just sci-fi. Sci-fi feels like, okay, we've done super fantastical space worms and shit like that. It's like, Alien is
Star
like,
Trek is sci-fi. It's
but I'm saying that Star Trek should, well, to a certain degree, Star Trek shouldn't be sci-fi when it's going the like, oh, completely plausible. This is probably where we're going in the future direction. Like 2001, besides the baby floating head thing at the end, it's like, but even still, it's like, okay, with a sufficiently advanced, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like Alien is one of those things. Like, no, this is just like the kind of shit you should probably watch out for when you're space trucking.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, every video store I ever went to until Hollywood Video came along and started with their weird hyper-specific categories had sci-fi and horror in the same section. It was all the same thing.
Yeah.
Both video stores I used to manage had it all in the same section, and that made perfect sense. You didn't have to have this argument.
Yeah.
So anyway, I find that shit so pedantic, and I can't stand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
Yep. All right, let's do this second half. Get the fuck out.
Let's go watch musicals.
All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast, second half, half number 2.
Ooh.
2 of 469.
Yeah.
I just wanted to,
Right. Yes. Hammer that home.
yeah.
One more time.
So I think you've seen the newest thing, so please.
I did. Of course, I went to go see Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Of course you did.
Of course
I did.
you did.
I took a journey and watched 43 movies, and of course I'm going to go see fucking Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That movie's great. It's everything I wanted it to be. I mean, it could have been a little better, but other than that, I mean, it's everything I wanted it to be. It's like,
Is there enough monster fighting in it?
yes,
All right.
yes. And
Is there-
people who are saying there's too much monster fighting in it, fuck off. What are you thinking?
There was too much people in the last Godzilla.
Yeah.
Way
Well,
too much people.
There is a super dedicated group of people who think that's the way to go in a Godzilla movie. Is the Godzilla should only be in your Godzilla movie for 7 seconds.
Is that the only movie that those people have watched?
No, because I've also seen Jaws, and they're like, worked for Jaws, therefore this movie needs less Godzilla. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. There are things I like about the first Godzilla movie, the first second American Godzilla movie, the first one.
What?
What?
I am so confused now.
The first that's part of this current monster verse that they are building.
Oh, the one with Bryan Cranston
Yes.
and that stuff.
Okay.
It's not the
okay.
first American one. because
I was
that
like, the Raymond Chandler version of Gojira? That's what you prefer?
yeah,
Like, or
no.
Raymond Burr? Raymond Burr. I like Raymond Chandler.
2014 I'm like,
2014
wait, what neo-noir?
Godzilla. So is this is this a direct sequel to 2014's Godzilla?
Yes, it
So
starts.
they acknowledge things in ways,
They-
or like characters return, any of that stuff.
There are at least 3 characters from the first film that are in this.
I
Okay.
believe that you told us that there is a like a 400-foot ghost Bryan Cranston?
No, that was a joke we made while consuming roast beef.
Oh.
It's not actually true. We were like, that would be great.
Aw.
No.
I just wanted to work
Yeah, I know.
that into the podcast.
So there's probably 3 characters from the first film that are in this. There are at least 1, maybe 2 characters from Skull Island in this.
Okay.
You kind of have to work at it. They're not obvious. They're not hitting you over the head with it. But there's at least 1 character that is absolutely the older version of a character from Skull Island.
Okay.
Does he have a shirt that says "I went to Skull Island"?
No,
and
I
this
didn't.
lousy T-shirt.
It's so they don't tell you. You just kind of have to later. You're like, this guy's playing this person from Skull Island. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. They kind of give you a little hint of it, but not enough to where you're actively putting it together. Anyway, so here's what having seen all of the Japanese Godzilla movies, just all of them, this is what Toho, which is the studio that made all those, probably would have made if they could. The thing about the time, about special effects and everything like that, it's a dude in a suit because that's what they could do. And the reason that Godzilla was so limited in a lot of the Japanese movies is because you can't have an hour and a half of smashing miniature sets because that's fucking expensive. So the movies would have humans doing stuff because that's cheap. And that's how you balance it out. You don't need to do that now because they are throwing billions of dollars at this movie, and you can do whatever you want with it. So this movie said, all right, let's bring in all the monsters, and they're going to fucking fight, and they're going to fight a lot.
Well, it is called King of the Monsters.
Yes.
So you would expect him to
try to
retain
assert
his title.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the human stuff is cut way, way down. And for me, that is exactly what I want because I didn't come to see people talk about Godzilla. I came to fucking see Godzilla fuck shit up.
Yeah, Godzilla.
Yeah. And also they have thrown Mothra into the mix, which Mothra is my favorite of all of the monsters. And they do. And my fear was they were going to do Mothra dirty and not do it right. They were going to American it up somehow and fuck it up.
Well, if you smack Mothra, you get like that dust all over your hands.
Exactly.
It's really gross.
Yes. There is such a loving tribute to those old movies in this. Like they integrate the old score into scenes. They while they don't go full like Mothra origin story, the Mothra origin story is fucking weird. Like it is the goofiest thing, but because it's so goofy, that's what makes it so endearing.
Could you tell me?
Is that like, but they have like the voodoo dancers and stuff, and they like summon Mothra?
There are twin girls that are miniature sized, and they all live on this island called Infant Island, which is where Mothra lives.
Right.
And Mothra is basically queen of this island.
The guardian.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to sing to Mothra to get Mothra to do shit. Like Mothra is fine just chilling on Mothra's throne, not doing anything. You have to placate Mothra. You have to, hey Mothra, we love you. You are great. Please save the earth. And then Mothra's like, all right, fine. And then Mothra flies off and makes some ultimate sacrifice and gets killed. But
Mothra
flies into the sun.
But it's so goofy as shit. Like you just got like and the twin girls will eventually like go to Japan and so there's like 2 miniature women running around singing to Mothra while adults are like, what the fuck is this? And they like go on talk shows and stuff. It's so fucking weird.
Is it always like variations on the same song?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so like it's like a Mothra to a refrain.
Yes. Oh, you.
I could see you. Like,
Yeah.
I
was like, you're not being
see in
sincere,
your
are you?
eyes.
No, all right, fuck you.
Those gears were turning.
But they dance so close to the edge of getting there. Like all of it is almost there. They just don't pull the trigger and just have miniature Asian twins sing to Mothra. But it's super close. It's what I wanted it to be. And like I said in my review, and I jotted down a bunch of thoughts on Letterboxd, it was like they made this for me, and I'm gonna take it. It's mine. Like, you don't like all this monster fighting? Fuck you. That's fine. Fuck off. They made this for me. They made this for people who have seen 43 Godzilla movies and are like looking for new stuff, but also being faithful to old stuff. And that's what this movie does. Okay. It's like it takes a bunch of stuff in directions that aren't predictable, but also gives you enough of, yeah, that makes sense. That's what would happen based on the mythos of these characters. So they are fair to the origin stories of these things and still putting them in a new environment.
Important question.
Okay.
Is Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla in this movie?
Yes,
All right.
but it's covered.
By who?
Red Oyster Cult.
Red Mollusk Church.
Bear McCreary does the score for this, so it's kind of his cover with someone I'm not familiar, like featuring someone who I'm not familiar with. But yeah, it plays over the end credits.
Bear McCreary?
Did the
He's
Battlestar music
Yeah.
and other
And
stuff.
yeah,
Oh, featuring Serge Tankian
yeah, that guy.
from
System of a Down.
System of a Down. That's it.
okay. So yes, it
Does
plays.
he do like
That nasally guy.
any of that?
I was going to say, is
Sorry.
that the wake up? Is that those people? Is
Yes.
that how they get Mothra to go?
Yes.
Two miniature Surge tanks following Mothra around.
Mother, make up.
Mother! I said, Mother! I would watch that movie.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's go see this movie like
So-
right now.
Yeah, I'm in.
Well, you should go to see this movie regardless.
Is there any of the weirdness of Skull Island in this movie?
It's weird because this movie goes.
It's always on the move type thing. Like it doesn't want to slow down for anything.
It starts with like a Batman v Superman thing where it's existing in the climax of the first movie, and characters are like, oh no, the new characters.
Tokyo.
They've taken characters from this movie and put them into scenes from the previous movie, and that's their motivation throughout this movie. Is
Okay.
shit happened to them while that attack was happening. So, but I mean, it just goes like it. There's not.
Did history prove again and again?
How
I mean,
nature points out the fallen
Look,
men.
like or dislike the first film. The first film literally had an hour of talking before anything happened.
Oh yeah, and then like they literally cut away from Godzilla fights.
Yes. This movie does not do that.
Okay.
Godzilla shows up, and then it's on. And
right.
there's fighting, and fighting reaches a natural conclusion, and then there's 5 minutes of talking, and then, oh no, there's another monster. We have to deal with this now.
It's not on yet. It's next movie that it's on with King
Yes.
Kong.
That's, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a bunch of King Kong stuff peppered throughout this, so they are clearly building that into the universe.
All right.
They're not shying away from it. I mean, they are talking about it all the time.
I mean,
so-
they were pretty clear at the end of Skull Island. Like, this is connected.
Yeah. Yes.
This means something.
Who did Godzilla fight in the 2014 one?
Unnamed mutant
Ed?
creatures.
Okay.
They were called mutos.
Muto. Okay.
It's like mutant underground transient organism, or just it was
That's
just
probably
things.
correct. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there
Big,
was no,
big chuds.
yeah, they were big chuds.
Chudzillas.
There's Chud, little Chud, big Chud over there.
Yeah. There's another one of those in this.
Okay.
There are 17 monsters altogether.
God damn.
Yeah, it's
That's a
fucking
lot.
it's fucking littered with monsters.
That's a court of monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Court.
but there's
Well,
only
you gotta have a
He's
king.
the king.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's
yeah.
the king in the
Yes.
court.
Anyway,
We're on tonight.
Yeah.
I'm
another,
pleased to
all
hear
say
this.
about the Godzilla.
I think so.
right.
I just it's you should see it on big screen. It's a spectacle. It's one of those movies where you're just like, yeah, I need to see this big. Like Godzilla's big and thick, and I need to see that on the biggest screen possible.
That's how I like my Godzilla. My
He's-
Godzilla's
Godzilla's
thick.
big and thick,
God.
and he's my friend. Damn it.
Super thick in this. It's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
big boy.
He does look like, as the kids would say, an absolute unit.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's an oh lord, he coming
Yeah.
Yep.
Godzilla.
Yep.
Oh lord.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. It's
He's been eating well. I feel good for Godzilla.
yeah. He eats rather well in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have kind of a new movie too to break up because I think you got other things.
Yeah.
to talk about.
Go ahead. My
Oh,
other
you
two things
do?
are
Yeah.
fast.
So I saw the movie Booksmart, which is also
Booksmart.
a new.
Oh.
So Booksmart's a little weird, but it's another one of those things, sort of like Annihilation, where it's like, hey, United States, please go to the theater for this. And everyone else is like, Netflix, motherfuckers, day one, here you go.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's on the surface you could very easily describe this movie as female Superbad, like gender reversed Superbad.
Uh huh.
But it's more than that. Like it's it's got more heart than that. Like Superbad's kind of like, yeah, party, fuck things and make jokes. You know what I mean? It's like there's not anything really deeper going on in Superbad. It's like by the end of the movie, it's just like, yeah, I guess they fucked.
Yes, you're right.
Or they're gonna. Yeah, but this one's like got a lot more heart to it than that. It's the directorial debut of Olivia Wilde. So of course her husband's in it. Jason Sudeikis is there.
Okay.
Still don't understand that one, but anyway.
He's funny in a
makes
very
me
grumpy
laugh,
way.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's a super cute movie, and like it's one of those weird movies. I think it's sort of like how you described Captain Marvel. Like I don't know what I was expecting out of this movie. It's just the way it starts. I was like, I don't know what this movie is, and I wasn't sure I was on board. And then it's like the first really good bit happened, and I was like, okay. And it was just like from then I was just like I shifted my brain. I don't know. I didn't really mean to have preconceptions about this movie. It was just like, oh, okay. I didn't realize this was going to be like. It's like it's raunchy comedy mixed with like some heartwarming shit. So it's like it's this fine line of between Superbad and I can't even think. I mean, I don't want to say it because a lot of people here probably have never seen it and still think it's pretentious. But like sensibilities of like something like Garden State. I know that's like a little bit older than high school stuff, but I'm just saying like there's this like there's actually like touching heartwarming things and then like vomit jokes and stuff like that over here. But yeah, it's super cute and funny and. I don't know. It's real good and like.
I mean, I would say something like The 40-Year-Old Virgin is raunchy, but also has a undercurrent of.
This one's a little sweeter than that. Like that I understand. Like that has more. I get what you're saying. Like that's. I mean, that's kind of Judd Apatow prime movies in general. There's always like something. It's like, yeah, dick jokes, but also like I'm going to try to hit you.
We
in
are
the feels.
friends now.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was super cute and fun. I would highly recommend it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like comedies you just can't really talk about anything in them because it's better just
Oh
experience.
my god, this joke you
Yeah,
guys.
it's like I can't really point out any one particular thing. Yeah, I don't know. I have like nothing else to say about it. Like,
Okay.
I mean, for a cast of like mostly mostly unknown, especially to me, I thought everybody in it was really good. Like top to bottom, like solid cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you saw it in the theater because a lot of people on Twitter were mad at me for not going to see it in the theater.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's like 12 people see it and they're like, "You have to go see this," and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's Scott Pilgrim." There was this movement on Twitter for just like, "Got to go see Scott Pilgrim," and it was just like, "Back the fuck off! I will do what I want."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I've seen that happen with Booksmart. People are just like. To the point where they rally against whatever the other movie is opening against Booksmart. Where it's like, don't go see that. It's like, well, you didn't see it.
Yeah,
so
it's like it's John Wick.
yeah,
I'm gonna go fucking see it.
yeah, fuck you.
Shut up. Yeah.
There's a John
Dude.
Wick and a Godzilla and
Yeah.
Aladdin.
I mean, there's so much shit I haven't seen.
Aladdin.
There's Aladdin.
There's several big movies I've missed here recently where I was like, I need to get around to seeing that, and it's like, I just don't.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man is out.
Mm.
So the other two things I watched. So all these things came out on the same day, and I took work off to have a day of entertainment because it was just like I can't delay these things. These are all
As
must-watch things.
Revenge for your ruined day of entertainment.
Yes. So when I got up Friday morning, Amazon had put up all 6 episodes of Good Omens, which is a Neil Gaiman book turned into an Amazon limited series.
Terry Pratchett too, right?
Yeah, yes, they co-wrote it. So it's 6 episodes. It's a finite story, and it's fucking great.
I have a
Is
feeling
it just going to be that 6 episodes?
Yes.
Oh,
There's only one book. They cover all the book stuff in the 6 episodes. That's it. They're out.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be the next thing I watch, just because there's things I want to step into, but they're much longer, and I'm like, I should probably just do this because it's finite.
It's a super easy watch. It is, while it's plot heavy and universe building, none of that really matters. You're just kind of there for the jokes, of which there are many. And for fans of David Tennant, of who I think we all are, he is at peak David Tennant-ness in this. Like, it is basically Doctor Who, David Tennant going for it. Also, if you like the sort of new comedic turn that John Hamm has taken, where he just kind of looks confused at everything and then kind of acts goofy. You get that.
I mean, I'm surprised I didn't take a day off work because I mean, you've got like 3 of my favorite actors. I mean, because I think Michael Sheen's
yes,
super underrated too.
Yep. He's more of the straight guy in this, but he is very critical to all of the things that are like, it's nothing without him.
Yeah.
Like he needs to be in this. And it is well crafted, it is smart, it's there's a lot going on there. I mean, it's a world-ending kind of story. None of that really matters. You don't feel like there are stakes, everything's going to work out, but you are there for jokes and just quirky moments and cool stuff, and you get a lot of that.
Okay.
So it's really great. And then that night, HBO premiered the 15 years in the making Deadwood movie, which, if you've seen the 3rd season of Deadwood, you realize that you need a Deadwood movie because season 3 of Deadwood just kind of ended like, okay, we'll see you in season 4, and there wasn't one. So for like 15 years, people have been like, you need to wrap some shit up. They don't.
Okay.
But it's still kind of a satisfying, like, it's better than where it left it. It's not like get the gang back together and, crazy events happen and then, that's the end of it. There's some stuff that gets resolved and some stuff that gets sort of, like if they were going to do a 4th season, you could see how they just kind of time condensed a bunch of plot lines into like a few scenes. But I was amazed how easy it was to slip back into that world.
How long has it been?
15 years.
15 years.
I believe so. I think it went off in 2004, I want to say, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe a little less than that, but it's over 10 at least. I know that. But yeah, it's like it's like that universe kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best way to describe it. Like it kept going and we just didn't get to see any of it.
We're just checking in.
And we just like plop back in. Nothing looks wrong. Like all the sets are rebuilt exactly how they should be. You feel instantly comfortable when it starts. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't start with any kind of like previously on Deadwood thing. Like you thought it would. Like it's you need to ease us back into this. It just you're in and it goes. There's a hint throughout it of some flashbacks to stuff that happened at the end of season 3. That they actually flash back to footage from season 3. But it's just kind of lightly peppered in. It's not obnoxious. And it's very entertaining. You realize why that show was so good.
Is it telling its own like one movie story?
No.
Or is it just like this is kind of a longer episode?
There's a theme about it, which is basically like the state has statehood. Like congratulations, you're now a state. And so the way it was pitched, it seemed like everyone comes back to town to celebrate statehood. No, only like 2 people come back to town. Everyone else stayed there. No one left. They were all just staying there, living their lives, and nothing changed with them. So you just slip right back in, and it's not confusing at all. You feel instantly comfortable with it. And it had been at least 10 years since I saw the end of season 3. And one, you should watch Deadwood. You should watch the first 3 seasons of Deadwood, and then you should watch this movie. So that is me out there reminding people that Deadwood exists, and you should watch it.
I will.
Yeah.
When I finish a short, very bite-sized show.
Yeah. So
Jen and I need to get on it. She loves westerns, so.
Yep.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed I watched any Westworld before watching Deadwood at this point because like everything I've heard about, just why bother with Westworld?
Yeah, but then they ran that trailer for season 3 of Westworld, and I think I'm back in.
I need to watch that.
You haven't seen the trailer for season 3?
No.
Okay. It's the thing that got me was that it wasn't a trailer for season 3. It was just, what the hell is this? Mm-hmm. And they don't make it seem like it's a Westworld thing until the last second. And then you're like, shit, I'm back in.
Yeah, all I saw is when they ended Game of Thrones, and HBO's like,
Please.
oh, for God's sake, we have all these shows. Please watch at least one of them. My God, we're begging you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's like one shot of Bernard and Dolores like in, outside the Westworld.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I hope it's not all outside Westworld. Because it's kind of like the Matrix movies where it's like, man, people can do some cool shit in the Matrix. Let's spend most of our time outside the Matrix.
Yeah, I'll just say if you watch that trailer,
it's outside the fucking.
It's all out. The trailer is all outside. But the trailer is selling this show of like, man, what's this show? This show looks fucking dope. It's Aaron Paul and a bunch of near future shit. What's going on?
Oh,
And-
Aaron Paul's in it now?
Yeah, it
No
looked like
shit.
some near future Aaron Paul sci-fi show, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, I'm in on this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, it's Westworld season 3, and you're like, oh shit, I'm back in now.
Yeah,
so,
but that's like next year, isn't it?
yeah, it's a ways away.
Yeah. Then again, the wait between Game of Thrones seasons
Right.
went quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah. So the Watchmen show comes out this fall. So
Now, is that supposed to be taking place after the movie? Is that my understanding of it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's basically all like what happened after the journalist found Rorschach's journal and
Yeah.
all that Fallout stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
And-
15 years later or something. Like
Yeah,
that. It's
like-
like real time from when the movie.
Yeah, because from the previews, I was just like, I don't understand anything that's happening in this.
I didn't
show at
either.
all.
I had to look it up, but I don't know. I like a lot of people in that, and I know you didn't see The Leftovers, but the Lost guy redeemed himself with The Leftovers,
I've heard.
and so I'm hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Because God, Leftovers is so good.
A lot of good HBO I need to catch up on
Yeah,
when I can watch TV again.
yeah. That's all I got.
All right.
All right.
I don't think
You got
anything else.
anything, BJ?
I don't got anything.
All right.
Not a single thing.
No. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, contact info then,
Sure.
or do we have any? We don't have any correspondence.
Nah.
All right.
Nah, not
Con-
this week.
Bunch
Not
of
doing it.
bums.
Not happening. Nope. Not happening this week.
Well, if you want to fill up our mailbags,
Yeah, mailbag.
BMF at BMFcast.com. If you want to fill up our voicemail bags, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. If you want to do other related BMFcast things on other related BMFcast websites, go to BMFcast.com. That's BMFcast.com. And click all the buttons on the right-hand side, which will
At
take you to
once.
all the places. Yeah, at once. Get 18 mouse cursors and click all of the buttons.
Punch your keyboard.
Yeah. One of those, a couple of those links that I will call out in particular are the Patreon, which is how we support ourselves here at the BMFcast. If you want to go there directly, patreon.com/BMFcast. Drop some money in the tip jar monthly, and we will reward you with copious amounts of extra product.
Content.
Product.
Commodities.
Yes. If you want an actual commodity thing that you can wear on your body, go to bearsuitstudios.bigcartel.com, and you can get your very own limited edition BMFcast shirt in super cool silver print on a super smooth black T-shirt. It will cover your body.
Smoothly.
It's a comfortable fucking shirt.
It is.
I just have to say that every time I'm reminded of that shirt because
Those next level shirts that we get are
Next level.
next fucking level, man.
yeah,
No,
man.
they are really nice. They're light and smooth, like
like us.
yes. None of us are light. We big boys.
We're all hairy as shit.
Yeah.
We all Godzillas now.
Yeah.
Chonky.
Oh Lord, we coming.
Oh, the fucking internet. Jesus.
Yeah, the internet has just turned into garbage memetics. But for serious, it's a black T-shirt, but you can wear it in the summer sun, and you will not overheat because it is a super nice light T-shirt.
Yep.
If you are out
breathes.
of the country, please email us for shipping information. The T-shirt is. Fuck! I just forgot how we priced them out because I'm an idiot.
Well, we
They're
basically dial the shirt back to cost and then add the international shipping to that, whereas the other shirts have shipping built into the price.
That's
so
right.
The
They're-
shirt is a little cheaper.
the shirts are $20, including shipping in the
Yes.
United States. So if you're international, we are going to do our best to not rake you over the coals for that.
Yeah, we'll sell you the shirt at cost, which is less than $20, and then because we realized that airmail is just a fucking. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, you are taking a thing from one side of the earth to the other. I'm surprised it's
easy.
that cheap, but
Yeah, $15 to ship it to Australia or whatever.
Yeah. You just hook that to a dirigible and push it.
right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
Put it in a bottle and throw it in the ocean. It'll get there.
Put it on the next steamship to Australia.
We have our shirt pigeons. Just fly them over.
Shidgens, if you will.
Right. When everyone's doing a balloon race around the world, just here,
Right.
take this shirt to Bill.
Captain Pennyfarthing. Take this T-shirt.
Yeah.
Captain Pennyfarthing.
Anyway, those are all the contact information things. Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. We'll see you next time. Chaps.
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 They're chaps.
That's chaps.
That's chaps. That's Mothra.
Guy fucking did it. I swear to God. I swear to God he did it.
That's Mothra. That's Mothra.
Mothra.
Yep.
Mothra.
Oh. All right, I'm going to shut down the live stream so we can maybe record a new Patreon bumper thing, maybe.
Bumpers.
Yeah. We got to save those. You got to have some magic when you listen to it, like the audio file. So, good night.
When you hear our ads.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sweet ads.
Bye.